yesterday. Not going to play. Now it's all about Emory Williams. How are you going to beat Clemson, who's been the class of the ACC for a decade now? With your backup quarterback, at least you're at home. How are you going to do it? Oh, you do it by playing clutch, a little bit of defense here and there. In double overtime, it's all about the U. What a job. In fact, I was so hyped up earlier today. My cousin Vladimir Lewisson joining me right now. I was so hyped up earlier today, Vlad, I couldn't sleep. Well, that's not really the reason why. Nonetheless, I couldn't sleep. I put together a little montage so we can get hyped up about what happened last night with the U.
Corey Dallas comes forward, and away we go from Hard Rock Stadium. Emory Williams, George Smith in the backfield with him. Smith will take the handoff. Oh, he's got a big hole. Rashard Smith, here we go. And midfield, he's at the 40. He's at the 30. He's at the 20. One down to me. Rashard Smith into the end zone. He fumbled the ball. In the end zone, he went 80 yards and fumbled the ball. Smith went 80 yards and there's a flag down. Did he cross the plains? Oh my goodness.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
Play clock at 5. Klubnik wants to throw. End zone for Brennan Sewell. James Williams is there. Brennan Sewell, does he have it? Incomplete.
He has it,
Out
but
of
it's out
bounds.
of bounds. After further review, the ruling on field is a touchdown.
Well, my dear friends, I don't know what else to tell you.
More ACC cooking.
Start a work of art to revolutionize, make a change from the trade.
Williams to throw. End zone. Colby Young. He's got it! Touchdown! Miami! Colby Young, the left corner of the end zone.
Down to business, mental self-defense of fitness. I'll let the show.
Andre Boroborigales comes on trying to tie this thing up. Off the right hash mark, 38-yard kick. Snap is down. Kick is on the way. It is good. We're tied at 17 with 1:52 to play in the game. Here's the snap. Gives Allen. Dives A.J. Allen in there.
He went in there,
He got
Faye,
it in. Allen punches it in for a 2-point conversion. He goes in behind McCoy and Maui Noah. Allen punches it in, and it's an 8-point lead for Miami in double overtime, 28-20. And now Clemson has the pressure back on them. Will they knuckle under the pressure, or can Klubnik deliver? Fake, Gibbs, no, he's going to run it himself, left side. He's going to be slapped down, it's over.
Bye now.
Miami wins it. He was stopped. He was stopped. Corey Flag got him. Corey Flag got him. Miami wins. There's Bentham at Hard Rock Stadium. It's a dream, but it is real. Miami wins 28-20 in double overtime.
With an unlikely win, the U do it. Let's break down the unlikeliness right there. First of all, you find out day of, a couple hours before, that your starting quarterback, Tyler Van Dyke, will not play because of leg and hand injuries. So you got freshman Emory Williams at quarterback. You're playing Clemson, still a team, maybe not as formidable as they were a couple of years ago, still a very good team. And then you get into overtime where, let's be honest, this coaching staff has kind of been under scrutiny for not making the clutch plays.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's be honest here. A lot of people are upset for them not being aggressive.
Oh, I know. I got
of the
text,
game.
worst coaching staff ever, from my friend Carol and stuff like that. She's a Miami alum. Doesn't matter. In the clutch, you'd have said this before the game. Okay, backup freshman quarterback for the U against Clemson, and it's going to come down to overtime. You would have said, oh, we're just lucky to get to overtime with a backup quarterback. But no. Oh, yeah, by the way, you're also down by 10 going into the fourth quarter. No worries. Make it happen. Like Al Davis said, just win, baby. We're going to get into the ramifications and what last night's game meant for the U in just a few minutes. But first, let's get you updated on all the glorious for the most part, glorious headlines that we have this glorious, for the most part, glorious Sunday morning.
Really?
And it's not really morning.
It seems like the Canes were the only glorious thing from last night.
Well, let's run it down. Let's see what we got. Tyler Van Dyke did not play due to a leg and hand injury. In his place, Emory Williams led the Canes to a 28-20 double overtime victory. Corey Flagg had the game-ending sack. Miami, they play Virginia Saturday at 3:30. The first win at home in the ACC in the Mario Cristobal era. That monkey's off his back now. And by the way, Vlad, 2 signature wins this year. Texas A&M.
Calm down with the signature, man. He hasn't relaxed with the John Hancock wins, okay?
Let's do this. We talked about this yesterday.
How
You
great
lose
was
last
that
night.
signature win against A&M after you lose, then you lose to Georgia Tech. Nobody's caring about that A&M win anymore.
That's a signature loss. But this win changes the whole trajectory of the season. Like I said, you win against Clemson, bump in the road, bad decision against Georgia Tech. You got outclassed by UNC, who lost last night, by the way, to Virginia, who we're playing next. Nonetheless, that's okay. You go lose to UNC. Now you're back on the horse. You're not spiraling downward. That not taking a knee has cost you the rest of the season. You've lost your composure. You've lost your quarterback. The season is lost. The season's no longer lost, Vlad. Am I right with that?
I mean, the season, you still got 2 losses.
Yes.
Okay. I don't really see you finishing with the second best record in the ACC. So you just got to win, stack up the wins, have a better season than you did than last year. Okay. And see what you can do. Maybe I'll tell you this: you beat Florida State in Tallahassee, then a lot of the stains are removed.
Florida State had their problems with Duke last night
until the second half, and then they whooped that ass.
Well, really kind of the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Now, second half they were pretty much beating them down, and then that fourth quarter, and Riley Leonard's not that guy. Or
he hurt himself again, though. He hurt him. He did hurt himself.
He did hurt himself again, but I mean, Duke's not there yet.
No,
but a lot of teams in the ACC aren't there. North Carolina, you lose to a 1-5 Virginia team. That's horrible.
That went in there, and I mean, Virginia was up pretty much the whole game. I mean, like they were in it the whole game. It was not like, they had some miraculous play at the end of the game. They outplayed,
and it wasn't a letdown because they were up. North Carolina was up 2 possessions,
and at home.
So that's why these losses kind of this thing, because all right, fine, you lose to Carolina.
That happens.
But you beat Georgia Tech. Right now you're 2-1.
Yeah, you're looking good. If you just take that knee, your only loss was 2 at the time, an undefeated team at their place by 10 points.
Yeah, you're not looking. You're not. It's different. Even though it was a great win. Listen, I just wanted him to win. He needed a home conference win. The team needed a win. They had, obviously, like you said, TVD not playing. And we found out about it literally an hour before the pregame show.
Yeah, I would say we found out at about 3:30. 3:30. You told me.
Yeah, like he put it. And I'm like, let me go check it out now. And then I was like, oh, he was right. So yeah. So a lot of people would have expected them to lose, but
they had every excuse to lose.
But they did common king things like, this is ridiculous. Bad penalties. Come on, man. Know that you crossed the goal line on a touchdown.
Gotta know.
You gotta know. Like those are things that if a team loses, you're gonna be upset. You're gonna be like, what's going on? Are they not focusing? Are they not disciplined? Like these are the type of things that you start questioning the staff. Do you have these guys ready? Because they're doing things that they should not be doing, and it's costing the team and it's punishing the team. But second half, they responded. He was making throws. The kid was making throws, man.
Oh, and he's been, when I say impressive, when he gets in,
Emory
of course,
he's making throws.
It's been against second and third string and against lesser teams, but at the same time, he's looked poised throughout the whole season. Got in there and did it. Another signature about last night, we could officially say the legacy and the dynasty of Clemson is pretty much done.
Thank you, Thank you. I'm sick and tired of that nasty orange.
It's just funny how Deebo Samuel went from being the greatest coach in the world, and now I'm thinking about Deebo Samuel. Dabo Sweeney went from being the darling of coaches to now people are like, man, how outdated is this guy?
Yeah, it looks so 6 years ago.
Yeah, everything he does is like just so, man, old school. We're going to talk about the ramifications and just everything that surrounded the big Hurricanes win last night in just a few minutes. But right now, I want to talk about Jeff Wilson Jr. and Alec Ingold are expected to play today for the Dolphins when they kick off at 8:20. The Eagles, they are still favored in this game. We're going to talk about this all day also, man. So, I mean, you get some more running back help, and the fullback, Alec Ingold, supposed to be playing. We're going to see game time decisions. This one's huge, man. Now, I mean, it does get bigger, but in the regular season, does it get much bigger than this?
Eagles, Dolphins, week 7.
5-1.
Both teams 5-1. Both teams with best records in their conference. Nah,
Yeah.
this right now is it's probably.
I'm saying as far as regular season games, and not towards the end when you're playing for the division and all that.
I mean, the Cowboys Niners was a big game, but that was a blowout. I think this is the biggest game of the season where I think it's gonna be competitive.
Right.
It's gonna be actually like you're looking at. It's gonna be. There's no blowout. I cannot see either team blowing the other team out.
See, I want to take this to the OK Corral and have a shootout tonight, man. I want my
heart
I don't
in
see
my
this
being a blowout
throat
whatsoever.
I want to be excited. I might even go down to Prima Pasta, catch some dinner, some beers, and watch the game there. I don't know, man. Maybe Messi will stop by. Speaking of Messi, he's probably resting up today. He played all 94 minutes last night in Inter Miami's loss to Charlotte FC 1-0. That is season over for the Herons. And then, by the way, I'm guessing, Vlad, it wasn't a very exciting game. I saw Charlotte scored in the 13th minute, and that was it.
That was it. They scored in the 13th minute. The second half, the 90th minute was actually exciting, where Inter Miami had 3 near opportunities to equalize the game, but Charlotte's goaltender denied Inter, and Charlotte's going into the wild card game.
Yes, they have made it into that play-in game.
Yes.
No congratulations to them. That was meant for us. The Heat finalized their roster yesterday, signing Drew Smith to a multi-year deal and putting Cole Swider on a 2-way deal. They also waived Justin Champagnie and my favorite player on the team, Czech Diallo. Season starts Wednesday, 7:30, Kaseya Center against Detroit. Very nice start. Team to start against.
Because they always play the Pistons gave them hell last season.
No. I'm saying it's a good team to start against because they're not good, but they're not bad, and they have a lot of exciting people to watch on the Pistons.
Who?
So,
name me one.
Cade Cunningham?
He
I don't think he's playing.
last
I know he's
season.
not playing. But they got some guys, man. Like I've watched a bunch of the Detroit games, and I've been interested in some of their young talent and stuff like that. So it's also a winnable game. You want to win that first game of the year. Trust me. There was one year the Pelicans, the first 2 out of 3 games they played the Golden State Warriors. Back when the Golden State Warriors were, winning record numbers of games. It's like, stop blaming. Sam Reinhart had 2 goals in the third period, but it was not enough as the Panthers fell to the Canucks 5-3. Next up, the winless San Jose Sharks come to town Tuesday at 7:45. Ooh.
7:45?
Yeah, it's an odd start because the ESPN's doing like this mayhem on the ice where every team plays, so they stagger all the games.
Oh, okay.
I was listening to Doug Plagans off the air when people asked him that question.
7:45. No, I was like, geez.
Because someone else asked that yesterday. He was like, yep, 7:45. I was like, okay, because it's some type of craziness every game, every team, all night long. Should be fun, though. Got to beat San Jose. Did not play very well against the Canucks last night. I will admit there was an open goal at the end of the game, but at the same time, empty net or whatever. But at the same time, the Canucks were up pretty much most of the game.
Yeah.
Sam Reinhart's having a season, though, even though it's an early season. It's one of those things, Vlad. We're back in purgatory, but we can't say anything because it's all about the playoffs. Paul Maurice, just trust. And also, there's been some injuries. But once again, I'm not making comments on the Panthers or the Heat until about midway through the season. We'll reassess and just kind of like FAU fell to Texas San Antonio 36-10. They play Charlotte Friday at 7:30. FIU, they're playing a Wednesday game, 7:00 against Jacksonville. Zach Wheeler was wheeling and dealing for the Phillies, pitching 7 innings and giving up 1 run as Philadelphia took a 3-2 series lead over the Diamondbacks, winning 6-1. Tonight, the Astros look to close out the Rangers at 8. We said it yesterday, Vlad. I don't know who's going to win between the Diamondbacks and Phillies. Then I realized Zach Wheeler was pitching. We both automatically went,
oh, yeah, no, he's been the best pitcher in the postseason so far.
He's been unbelievable. He's like that Madison Bumgarner. Remember that year Madison Bumgarner couldn't lose? They would throw it 3 times in a 7-game series.
2 times Madison Bumgarner was the best pitcher in the postseason. every time he was in the postseason for the Giants, they would win.
They would win every other year, man. He had to rest his arm in those off years, but then every other year, right there. Goodness. The NFL has warned teams that there will be significant punishment for fighting before, during, or after games. No specifics were given, though. I kind of like the fights, so whatever.
NFL things.
No fun league. No fun.
I'm saying, let them have their skirmish.
They can get into it regardless, so why not? Speaking of fun, though, we always have fun when we take a step into the day spa. Ah, yes.
I wasn't ready for the day spa.
Oh, please prepare yourself. Yeah, you don't want to just walk in naked.
No, don't do that like a certain damn day.
Yeah, I've done that at spas. At a spa once. That's the only spa I went to. A man in Poland posed as a mannequin at a shopping mall for hours so that when they closed, he was able to loot the place.
That's smart.
That's dedication to the game, man. Hold your breath. I don't know how you do the whole mannequin thing, but nonetheless, then go in there and loot it. Looting. Looter. That's hardcore right there. Up next, we want to dive into this Hurricanes win last night, kind of see what it said to us and what it might mean for them going forward here on Sports Day 560 WQAM.
WQAM broadcast.
It is a Dolphins Sunday, a signature Sunday. And at 8:20, we're going to find out why. Miami Dolphins, Philadelphia Eagles from the Lincoln Financial Field over there in Philadelphia. People are getting ready 8 hours in advance. I love it. Too soon. Never too soon. Start getting things going. But last night, the Miami Hurricanes took care of business with backup quarterback Emory Williams. We heard Tyler Van Dyke wasn't playing. I was aghast for a little while. Like, what are we going to do? Well, ran the ball, played some defense. Emory Williams made some mistakes. But in the end, double overtime, getting that 2-point conversion after the touchdown. And then the big stop Corey Flagg gets at the end of the game. We talked about this, Marcos. Really does make you feel good because,
Vlad.
man, there's some dude that looks like Marcos outside. That's what you get for not sleeping for 4 days. Okay. Vlad, man, let's rewind that one. So, you get the big win. What does it mean? Well, we say it stops the bleeding. It stops what we felt as though it would be a downward spiral. You make the mistake against Georgia Tech. You go out there, you get beat by UNC. You've been making a lot of mental errors. Not that, Vlad, we didn't make a lot of mental errors last night, but it stops the kind of bleeding, the downward spiral. You feel like you've kind of leveled out everything, and you prove to yourself that you could win in a clutch game. Next week, you get Virginia. Now, we know Virginia, not a great team, but they went into North Carolina and gave North Carolina their first loss last night. Do you feel as though this is a win that kind of set everything right? Or is it a win that's just, two teams that both wanted to lose? Maybe both?
No, it's a win that stopped the bleeding. And let's see what happens next week against Virginia. Because you can't take Virginia lightly. They're coming in on a hot. So then you need to beat them and therefore set up that NC State, Florida State back-to-back road weekend.
That's going to be a tough one there.
That's going to be a tough one. I think if you went to, it was a good win last night, overtime, home win, sent the crowd happy because they were those first 3 quarters they were very, very upset with the referee, with the play calling, with the execution of plays, and the officials. For the life of me, I don't understand how that wasn't a safety, but it did not bite us it did not bite us in the end. Let's just stack it up. Just good win. Clearly, right now, one thing I can say is that the team is still with Mario after that whole incident in Georgia Tech. They just got to clean up the mistakes, man. Just clean up the mistakes. And that's what's bothering me. If I'm really upset, it's just that the team doesn't look like the same team that they were prior to the bye week. They look more sloppy than they after the bye week than they did before. That's my problem with them. But they've played well.
They even played well for the most part in North Carolina. They just got beat.
They did. They just got beat. And even though they played nasty against Georgia Tech, they still made the plays that they should have won. Yesterday, they needed to beat Clemson. You hadn't beaten Clemson in a long time.
Yeah, it's been forever. They had won 4 of the last 5.
What bothered me was they reminded you that what got Dabo in that Clemson program going was a win over Miami.
Mm-hmm.
It was a win over Miami in like 2009. That's what got the Clemson program going. So maybe it's reversed right now. Maybe beating Clemson, even though they're not ranked, but they still were considered the team of the ACC. They had been for the last 10 years. You beat them. You gave them their 3rd loss. Mario's first home win in 2 seasons as the head coach
in the ACC.
University of Miami in the ACC. His first conference win as head coach of the University of Miami. So now he got that, like you said, he got that monkey off his back. Now let's just stack up another win, man. Just stack up another win and see if you can finish the year with just 2 losses.
The question I have to ask now, with everything that's going on with the quarterback situation, is Emory Williams our guy going forward?
No. Well, next season.
Let's see how bad Tyler Van Dyke is hurt. Let's say Tyler Van Dyke is hurt next week against Virginia. Emory Williams comes in and does a good job, gets another win.
Yeah, he's got next season.
You still think next season?
Yeah, he's still got next season.
I start to worry about this.
Worried about what?
And I'm going to overreact a little bit, and I'm going to go down a slippery slope. I'm going to say this. Tyler Van Dyke at the end of this season might say, I love the U. The U loves me, but I just seem to be snake bitten here. And they've got a good backup. And maybe it's time for a change. Maybe he hits the transfer portal. Not saying that he's upset
It's
with his
not.
coaching
Maybe he
staff.
was about to go last season, so it's not. It was not out of the realm of possibility.
And,
So
and like I'm saying, there's no bad blood, but maybe he just feels a little snake bitten.
I
Remember
don't.
last year?
You don't have to. You don't have to butter it up and just like try to make it all nice and everything, like rainbows and roses. No, if he, the coaches will know who they would want to be their starting quarterback for the future. And if one quarterback already had shown signs that he was looking elsewhere, and you said it yourself, a lot of scouts had been looking at TVD and said that they love the improvement that he's shown. So why wouldn't he come back if healthy, not showcase his talents and improve his stock and lead maybe UM to a big bowl win or whatever? Yeah, he's been in what? He's been 3 years already.
Yeah,
It's been 3 seasons. So I can understand if he like to move to another, he might like to take his talent to the NFL.
maybe.
Maybe he like
another
to
school.
transfer to go to another school. It's not a, but you have a quarterback waiting. That's what yesterday showed you. You do have a quarterback waiting. You have talent. You have players. Okay.
Yeah.
There's nobody's gonna be hurt. They are grown men. They're
Right.
grown young men.
And I don't think it's a bad situation. Like I said, I think it's maybe just one of those situations. Just things keep going wrong, keeps getting hurt. He knows that there's probably a good backup behind him. Like I said, if Emory Williams keeps winning games and playing well enough to win, he was put in a tough spot yesterday, but nonetheless won, made some plays. You could see Tyler Van Dyke or any college quarterback saying, you know what? It's time for a change of scenery just to freshen things up. Do I think Tyler Van Dyke's ready for the pros? No, I don't think so, but that hasn't stopped people in the past. So it's going to be interesting seeing how things go forward. Like I told you, Vlad, this Virginia team, they might not have had a lot of wins, but once again, Georgia Tech wasn't a very good team either, and they came in here and beat us. So you can't take this next week lightly. You got to go look what North Carolina did.
Look what Arizona State did against Washington.
Yeah.
Last night. They held Michael Penix. They get 4 interceptions. They didn't even score a touchdown. That vaunted Washington Huskies offense didn't even score a touchdown. They won, but they won what, 15-7?
Yeah.
That was not a score you would expect out of that team, especially coming off that Oregon victory. So that's the other thing. How coaches have their players ready to play a week after a big game is critical, because you saw the teams that won, a lot of the teams that won big games last week, they struggled.
Yeah.
They struggled. Carolina, Washington, they struggled. The teams that lost those big games struggled in the beginning, but they finally got their footing and won. Miami, Oregon, those are the, you got to look at that. So
Teams find ways.
There's no easy game in football, man.
No, and there's no easy game in the ACC, but let's kind of look ahead for the Miami Hurricanes as Saturday, 3:30, they're at home against Virginia. On paper, winnable game. Very winnable game, despite them beating North Carolina. Then the following week, you go up to NC State. Once again, a winnable game. Very winnable game for the Hurricanes. Then that next week, Miami, Florida State. So if you can get this good mojo going, be on a 3-game win streak going into Florida State, it's a rivalry game. Anything can happen. Buckle up, right, Vlad? This win kind of gives you that hope. Or maybe not.
Nah, I don't know.
You think the Hurricanes are going to drop one to Virginia or NC State?
No, I hope they win these next 2 games, but that Florida State game is that don't look too good.
I don't know.
That don't look too good.
I saw Florida State against struggling at least for a while against Duke last night.
Duke has a great defense.
They do have a good defense.
So then let's not do that. And Duke is ranked.
But yeah, I didn't think Florida State looked overly sharp.
They didn't have to look overly sharp. They looked sharp enough to win by 18 points.
Yeah. It was closer than that most of the game.
It was 20-17, and then at the end of this game, the end of the game, the score was 38-20.
Nonetheless, Miami, Virginia, NC State, then Florida State. If they can get the good mojo going, get the win against Virginia, once again, winnable game. Go up to NC State. You never know what you're going to get against NC State. Winnable game. Go in feeling good against Florida State. And like I said, it's rivalry games. You never know. Going up there. Maybe a night game, maybe a day game.
Yeah, I remember a rivalry game last year.
Yeah, that wasn't good. That was not good. No, 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 no. Not
And
them.
that Florida State team wasn't even as good as they are right now. That actually was that was a now when you talk about signature win, that was a signature win because that set forth the Florida State that you see right now that haven't lost a game yet.
Good job by Florida State. Their signature wins have been against my teams, 2 against LSU and 1 against Miami last year.
There you go.
I'm not going to Tallahassee anytime soon. What we are going to go is to the X.com next and see what's kind of trending with the Dolphins and the Hurricanes. A little hashtag what's trending here on 560 WQAM.
Listen to WQAM for Cat Talk. A look at the Panthers, sponsored by Celsius. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out. When it's game time, make Celsius a part of your play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy, the official energy drink of the Florida Panthers. The Panthers play here. AM 560 Sports, WQAM, FM 99.9 HD2, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is such a great time of year for sports, and you always know my suggestion. Make Dave & Buster's in Hollywood your headquarters for football. You know you're going to enjoy watching the games on their 42-foot TV. 42-foot TV, which you've got to see to believe. And how about all-you-can-eat wings? Mondays and Thursdays, 4 p.m. till close during football season, and $3.99 pints during the game. Dave & Buster's in the Oakwood Plaza in Hollywood, just east of I-95.
How's your mental health? I'm listening with Jewel.
One day I was in a dressing room trying to steal a dress, and I was like, I'm a statistic. I'm homeless, I'm stealing. And I realized if I don't change something, I'm going to end up in jail or dead. And I remember this quote that was attributed to Buddha that said,
wherever you are. Make WQAM your favorite station and take us wherever you go.
Let's do some hashtag what's trending, seeing what people are saying about the Dolphins and the Canes online, because it is a signature Sunday, yesterday's signature Saturday with my cousin Vladimir Louison. You can find him on x.com. All the social medias at Vlad2078. I am at.
That just sounds strange.
I call it what it is.
No, you're right, but it just sounds strange saying that. Oh, you can find them at x.com.
Hit me up, x.com, and tell me where you're from. Get down. Take it to the house. I'm Dan Day Radio. Yeah, man. I call things what they're supposed to be called. I don't like when people go, oh, I'm not calling Kaseya Center. I'm calling it the AAA, or I'm not calling Amerant Bank Arena. Like, these people pay good money. If you pay good money to call something, you'd want it to be called something. If that makes sense. I'm talking very circular right now.
Very.
But if we bought the Sports Day, Dan Day, Vladimir Louison field for Little League players, and they say, like, I'm not calling it that. I'm just going to keep calling it the Sandlot. I'm be like, no, man, no. Don't take my money then. I don't like that. You spend money, you get my respect. You take me out to Prime 112, I'm going to leave that as it is. Joe's Crab Shack, let's go. I don't know. Let's get into it right now. Hashtag what's trending. A lot of Go Canes trending. I am, of course, seeing what was a safety. They're replaying over and over and over again. I'm guessing they're saying his momentum stopped right before the ball crossed the line. Is that the official word?
Well, that's BS, man.
I mean, that's a safety 100 out of 101 times. I mean, I guess they say his momentum stopped. Okay, Caneswear. We love Caneswear here on 560 WQAM. They say, amazing win. What a great game to be at. For those saying they are not going to games until we are winning consistently, you missed a great win. Amazing night. For those of us there, wow. What a night. Let's go Canes. Also seeing Ruben Bain. Ruben Bain Jr. is a man, by the way.
That's a man. He is a man.
He's a strong guy. I was going to say a slang term for being strong, but it's not.
Yeah.
8 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 2 QB hits, and 1 forced fumble. Thank goodness he's a freshman. We're gonna lose him.
Bill Belichick is trending.
What we got?
Oh, they play the Bills today, so
is this going to be his last game? He's going to be fired on the tarmac after the game.
Yeah, there's a lot of media fans. Bill Belichick should be fired, and then there's a picture of Kevin James from the King of Queens, and Bill Belichick. When he signed a secret extension in the offseason. So he's got like a smirk in his face, like, yeah, you guys want me fired, but Belichick's going nowhere. Yeah, this is what's going on. So report has it from Ian Rappaport that this past season, Patriots coach Bill Belichick quietly agreed to a lucrative multi-year new contract.
Good.
Sources say that at least adds some context in the discussion about the greatest coach in NFL history. So everybody thinking he's going to go. He's not going anywhere.
Can we sign a secret extension with Mac Jones too and keep that duo together? Because I like that duo.
So, yeah, he's unlikely to be fired. So everybody that's thinking that it's time for Bill to go, he's going nowhere.
Excellent. That's good news for the Miami Hurricanes. Our guy, Will Manso, he posted some locker room video last night of the coach, Mario Cristobal, yelling, and I mean yelling, the University of Miami means the world to me. Fired up after the game. I know, I'm not gonna lie, I was fired up after that game too, Vlad. I was excited.
Oh yeah, I was so fired I went right to bed.
I was a little relieved too, by the way. I'm not gonna lie. You got to be honest about things. You were a little relieved too, weren't you?
Yeah, like come on, man. Like this was gonna be a nasty Saturday night again. Remember the last Saturday night that was at the Hard Rock? Yeah, it ended bad.
Yeah, that was not pretty.
So
Get that
this
taste
one
out of your mouth.
This was there was elation and relief leaving the Hard Rock last night.
I know, man. Jason Taylor, Dolphin great, now Hurricane coach, quoted after the game, I'm all about coaching hard and loving hard. We are teaching players why we're doing something. We will push and demand and love them even more and have fun doing it. I think he's doing a great job, man. That defense last night, say what you want, it was pretty darn good.
It's been pretty damn good the whole season.
Yeah. Solid defense. That play at the end of the game, Corey Flagg giving them no hope whatsoever. Great job by Corey Flagg Jr. No one really picking the Canes yesterday, but
I mean, they were 3-point underdogs at
college
home.
college game day. You know, the one guy that picked the Canes over Clemson was the guest, one CJ Stroud.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
he picked Miami.
Okay.
Proud of him right there.
Yeah, you like CJ Stroud.
I really do, man.
You've been bigging him up the whole before the year started. You thought that he should have been the first pick drafted besides Bryce Young, and you're looking very, very, very.
And I'm giving Bryce Young
very
time
right now.
I'm giving Bryce Young time. I'm not one of these guys or girls that's jumping on and saying, you know, he's too small, he's a bust, he's not going to do anything in the NFL, because that's been said about a quarterback that's played for the Dolphins. You got to give people time, because as we know,
People don't want time, bro.
I know. Well, yeah. Dude, remember the day when they would draft the greatest quarterback of all time, like a Vinny Testaverde, or
they would give them time,
and they would say, "Oh man, in a year or two from now, he's the future." You never, as a rookie, played unless you absolutely had to. Remember, it took like a hell of a craziness to get Peyton
at least
Manning.
4 years, but now with the way the game has evolved, you want to win a title before that so-called franchise quarterback gets that second contract.
Right.
So you want to win with him under the rookie deal, so you can use that money to surround him with all the talent. So then after 3 or 4 years, when it's time to pay him, at least you've had some championship, and maybe some guys will take some deals for less because they want to win. They want to come to a winning environment. But I just like you saying, I just remember, like, we're so quick to judge people when somebody says anything. Remember when Mark Jackson said this was the greatest shooting backcourt of all time with Steph Curry and Clay, and everybody was like, "What are you talking about? You don't know nothing. You just." And then what happened? What happened?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. You know what? You were right, Mark Jackson. Yeah. You were right. We're so quick. Tua, we were quick to, including myself. Hey, nothing. Oh, you can't throw. Look at us now.
In all sports, we need to give guys time. Let's also remember.
No, remember we talked about, bro. You know how many people looked at Tyreek like he was crazy?
Yeah.
When he said that he could put up numbers with Tua, and Tua throws an accurate pass and
more accurate than anyone he's ever played with.
And guess what? His 2 best years. Well, his first. Let's put it this way: in a year and a half with Tua, he's putting up some of the best numbers he's ever put in his career, and he has a chance to get 2,000. So maybe we just let these people say what they say and not just quickly judge what they're saying. Maybe just take it back. It's like, you know what? Maybe if they continuously do this, but I don't see it right now, instead of just saying, man, you wilding, you're crazy, get out of here. Because now guess what? They looking right and you're looking wrong.
So time has been kind to the likes of Tua Tagovailoa and Tyreek Hill. Time has not been so kind to someone else who's trending online right now. Former Dolphins coach Brian Flores.
No, Flores is looking bad.
Whoo! We thought we had one. And I'm not saying he's not a good coach, but
listen, I'm not going to say that there was probably some crazy stuff that was going on and where both sides are wrong. But as far as player development, having the back of a player, having the back of your franchise player, and what you said, you're looking wrong right now. I don't know what happened with you and Ross the Boss and Chris Greer. That's a whole different story. But when we're talking about on the field and about your quarterback, you missed the boat on that quarterback, and a lot of people did.
So Tua does an interview with ESPN's Michael Smith, fellow New Orleanian right there, and basically kind of asked about Brian Flores and said at some point he was so shook by Brian Flores, he didn't know if he could laugh at jokes. If that's the case, I just think it was a bad relationship. And I think Brian Flores is still a good coach. What he's doing in Minnesota, I mean, that's kind of limited nonetheless. But just that was a bad relationship between he and Tua right there. And I don't know if he did everything he could have to make it a better relationship.
I know Flores tried to run I think he was trying to run a Bill Belichick way, and that's I think what's what we know is you're not Bill Belichick, and guess what? That Belichick way, that Patriot way is kind of done. It's done.
It's outdated.
It's done.
It's outdated.
Very outdated. It's so
The new
out there.
way is, and he's a poster child for the new way you coach. And I know Sean McVay is one of those guys also, but the new poster child for the way the NFL is to be coached now is Mike McDaniel.
Sean McVay.
You could go with Sean McVay just because he's got a little more.
No, well, because he has a ring.
Right.
And he's got a tree. Mike McDaniel doesn't have a tree. The
Right.
new wave is the Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan way.
Kyle Shanahan, another one. But I mean, Mike McDaniel's right there with him. He was with Kyle Shanahan for a while in San Francisco.
If you notice, and he was under Shanahan. No, look at all the Shanahan coaches.
Look, the days of
Kevin O'Connell, Sean McVay,
and let's give credit the guy who's leading the race for.
What's the guy in Cincinnati?
I was going to say though, the guy who's leading the race for Coach of the Year though is Dan Campbell. But how sustainable is that going to be? That's what I ask right there.
Well, it's different. It's a different because he's a former player. Players will relate to former players because former players know what players are going through. Mike, you know what I'm saying? Like that's why Vrabel has been able to be a very good head coach in the NFL. Former players will know. Former players know. Why do you think Prime is doing all this thing in Colorado? He's Prime, but why is he Prime? Because he was a great former player, so they know how to relate to the kid. They know what these kids are going through. So let me screw you some game, young man.
There's something about having been through the wars and knowing what you're talking about that relates, obviously. And we have Javon Holland come on Tuesdays for the Javon Holland Show in here on 560 WQAM, and he says, "I only respect guys that know ball. If you don't know ball, I'm not listening to you. These guys that know ball are guys that can relate. And when they tell you to do something, and then they tell you why, and they tell you why they did it and why you should do it, then you say, okay." But the days of guys like Nick Saban be like, run through a wall and no questions asked, those days are done.
And you know what?
Nick Saban's having some troubles too.
I'd rather have the Nick Saban troubles. I think everybody's laughing at Nick, acting like he can't evolve and he can't relate. He's gonna be able to relate to these kids. He's doing it. What? Hey, going to Pat McAfee, you're relating to the kids.
I know. But I think Nick Saban's trying to hold on. I really do.
I don't think he's holding on. I just think here's what I think the problem is, and we're doing it with the AFC East. When you're used to somebody winning so long that if they start, things are starting to become parity or starting to even out a little bit. We act because it's evening out that they can't win. No, it's evening out, but that doesn't mean they can't win.
No,
they used to have the edge. They used to have the dominant edge. Okay, they don't have the dominant edge anymore, but they still can win.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how you win. Like I'm saying, like I don't care. I've never heard of a beautiful loss. I've never heard of anybody, oh man, what a beautiful loss that was. No, there's a standard that they're used to, and because they've done that standard in a dominant fashion, we expect them to win. So it's like, oh my God, they win 31-27. Oh, is there something wrong with them? No, they just won. That's it.
Different time. NIL. I've talked about this a lot.
That's great, but it doesn't mean that they can't get NIL players aren't going to go to Alabama.
No. I mean, Alabama, they'll pay the hell out of them. They've been paying the hell out of them for 20 years, forever now. Joe Namath. Why do you think Joe Namath went down there? Does he really want to play for the Crimson Tide?
It's a problem right now, Cousin. It's the fact that you can't stack up. You can't stack up on that blue chipper who, after this guy goes, his time is next. No, well, his time could be next at another spot.
Right. And that's the thing. You used to be able to hold on to him for a little bit longer. You had the threat of, well, if you transfer out of here, you got to sit out a year. How about you just sit out this year, red shirt, and you're playing behind an All-American? Now it's like, man, I don't need this. I'm out of here. Same thing. You can make $1 million in Miami or Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and you're 18 years old. Where are you going? It's up to the 18-year-old, I guess. Up next, getting you caught up, getting you ready. Dolphins, Eagles tonight. Let's go. Sports Day, 560 WQAM.
Sports Day.
Beautiful day. Sky falls, you feel like it's a beautiful day.
Turn it up. It's Sports Day with Dan Day.
How do we bide our time until the game tonight at 8:20 between the 5-1 Miami Dolphins and the 5-1 Philadelphia Eagles? Well, just hang out with us. Akuzan, Vlad, and I having some quality time. Rarely on a Sunday nowadays with the Dolphins, but the late game has allowed us to stick with you till 4 o'clock leading up to Game Day Uncensored with our dudes, Alex Dono filling in for Tobin, who's on vacation, Omar Kelly, that's my dude right there, love that dude, and Alejandro Solana, who's coming back from Uruguay just to do the show. In the meantime, you hang out with us. This is one of those nights, Vlad, you go big. You get the Pizza Hut pizza and not the cheap, Little Caesars pizza.
Yeah, pizza.
You get some wings. You get the spicy.
Not from pizza. You know what?
Okay, where are we getting our pizza from tonight, Vlad?
Oh man, you might have to go to your, nice
Local spot.
Local spots.
Okay.
And, Little Anthony's cold fried is never bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
Maybe some Casolas if you're down south.
Some Casolas, yeah.
Now, if you're going wings, where are we going wings? I'm thinking, I love Hooters wings, man. I ain't gonna lie. Hooters got the best. Some 3 Mile Island, a couple of 9/11 thrown in there. Whoop, there it is. Where are you getting your wings?
I like the Ale House.
Ale House wings? Okay.
Ale House wings are good.
So you're getting the good
and
stuff.
Twin
tonight.
Peaks, of course.
Well, yeah. But you're getting the good stuff. And like I said, I'm going to try to go to Prima Pasta down by my house in North Beach, or maybe Bob's Your Uncle, maybe a little pre-gamer at Bob's Your Uncle for a drink, my neighborhood dive bar, then walk on over to Prima Pasta, sit there, have a nice meal at the bar. Henry's the bartender, great. Order some drinks. Of course, before that, Vlad, I'm getting the good stuff. Going to see our dude, Manny, over at Jensen's Liquor Store, Manny and Don Julio. And I'm not getting the Crazy Stallion. I'm not getting Bush Beer. I'm getting that Prestige because it's a prestige night.
Oh,
Vlad.
it's a prestige night.
It is a prestige night.
Nice.
You're getting the prestige, right?
Listen, I'm good this weekend.
Oh, wait, we're not getting off at the same time today.
No.
Damn, I was going to say, let's go down there and go see Manny together, get some prestige.
No.
Oh.
See, this is what's good about when your team wins and then they go on nearby. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, you got to be feeling pretty high.
I am happy.
Are you high right now?
Always.
I like that.
Always. But yes, I am very happy. I'm going to enjoy watching this game tonight. A little early to get the festivities going right now because we're in studio. But once I get out of studio, I'll get the festivities going.
So we're finishing up at 4 o'clock, and if I didn't have to help out with Game Day Uncensored, you and I are going to go see Manny over there at Jensen's, and then maybe we just run the town tonight and go run around. Bob's Your Uncle. Maybe I'll buy you some dinner. Maybe buy you a nice dinner. I don't know. That would be kind of weird. But is it okay? Like, let me ask you this, Matt. Let's say theoretically we both get off at the same time. We decide, go down Jensen's, say hi to Manny, and I say, man, let's go to the neighborhood. Let's go to the neighborhood dive bar. Let's go to Bob's Your Uncle, grab a couple drinks before we go out to eat. Now, if we go out to eat at Prima Pasta, which is kind of a romantic Italian restaurant, but if you're two guys and you sit at the bar facing the TV, watching the Dolphins game, I think that's acceptable.
Yeah, you're watching the game.
Okay, I'm definitely not being like, yo, I need a table for two and waiting for it. No. But at the bar, that's acceptable. Grab them some drinks. You can eat at the bar, watch the game.
Yeah, you're doing manly things.
You're doing manly things, yeah. And if a shorty or a bad one walks by, definitely say hi.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Let her know. Look, we're here, but not together. We're friends.
Hopefully, she comes with a friend.
Yeah. You get your friends, tell my friends.
And we all can be friends, yeah.
And you come sit down.
Baby.
Get this lovely lady a Prosecco. Are you a Dolphins fan? Oh, you're not? Let me explain what's happening right now. It's a service. You're doing a great service for people. You're helping people out.
It's going to be, you have to figure that a lot of bars, it's going to be slammed tonight watching the game.
Yeah.
Sunday night game. Everybody comes for Sunday night, but the Dolphins are playing, which wants me to ask you this question. Do you think people, knowing that the game's at 8:20, are going to plan ahead and probably get to their local establishment maybe around 6:30? Do you eat before going to the bar? Because remember now, it's an 8:20 game.
Right.
You could eat. That means you've had breakfast, I did a little Ubering before I got here, so there was a lot of Vecchi and Vicky bakeries being delivered all over.
Pastelito Guayabas?
Yeah, all over the
Con
place.
queso?
Baby. All of them.
Oh man, I could go for some Guayabo right now.
Okay. Usually the Dolphins are on at 1.
Right. So a little breakfast beer and a pastelito.
So right now, I do believe that, some of the famous establishments like Twin Peaks, maybe Ale House, whatever, Hooters, whatever, all of them, they have patrons there, but not the Dolph fans.
Right.
What time are Dolph fans going to those establishments? Are they going to go there eating? Or are they going to go there? They've already eaten. And they're gonna go there just to get some drink and watch the game. I like to know what time on a Sunday night game would you get there.
I'm gonna give Dolphins fans credit. They're notorious for being not on time. Tonight, though, I think they actually get there early with an 8:20 kickoff. I think you get a little snack in the afternoon, then you get to the bar, you order a drink or two, you get some food, you finish off your drinks, and you watch the game. The late kickoff means that Dolphin fans will be there a little bit on time and early at all the sports bars across South Florida, getting it going, whether it be Duffy's, Flanagan's, or any other place. So I think you get the little snack in.
It's interesting because
you got to pace yourself. If you're starting to jump
that's what I'm
1 o'clock
saying.
kickoffs, you're in trouble.
There's a lot of things you got to pace yourself. And second, does the old lady know that the game is on tonight? That she didn't bother you because you know what I'm saying. Like they understand it's football Sunday, so a 1 p.m.
You're usually
game
done by 4 or 5. What are you doing?
A 4:25 game. They can deal with that. But when it's 8 o'clock and it's probably time, maybe oh, let's watch a show. Let's watch a movie. Or
I thought Sunday nights were ours.
Yeah,
not this Sunday.
Not this Sunday. What do you do?
Well, that's what I would like to ask you right now.
By the way, wifey, you got to get those kids to sleep. Yeah, that's on you.
You don't want Daddy coming home tonight after a big win or a big loss. Daddy don't need to be. The kids don't need to be seeing Daddy in that shape, win or lose. But in the meantime, how are you going to bide your time if you're not doing family stuff or outdoor recreation? You got a lot of games to watch. Some just kicked off right now. Tell me if these excite you, Vlad.
No.
Buccaneers, Falcons. Yeah.
I already told you no.
Buccaneers, Falcons, I have no desire other than maybe seeing Baker Mayfield run around. This one does excite me, though. Raiders, Bears. Although Bears got this Bajent guy at quarterback, but and Garoppolo is also not playing. So I'm starting to talk myself into not wanting to watch this game, but I am a Raiders fan. I like to see how they play, so that excites me a little bit. Colts, Browns. Deshaun Watson's supposed to be playing today, but
it doesn't excite me, even though that's 7-7 right now at 11 minutes into in the first quarter. Both teams have scored on their opening drive.
Hell yeah.
Patriots 3-0 over Buffalo. Josh Allen just threw an interception.
Not good start for
Commanders
the
and Giants. No, I'm not excited about that game.
I am, because it's a division game. It's a division game.
Yeah, there's certain division games that are nasty. Like the Buffalo New England game is nasty too. By the way, local Channel 7 should have showed a game.
Yeah, we're missing. I think it's contractual.
I don't care if it's contractual. The Dolphins are on the road. That means both stations should be able to show a doubleheader. The Dolphins are on the road and playing on Sunday night.
I know you're excited about Lions Ravens, and I think I am too. No doubt.
I am excited for Lions.
7-0 already for the Ravens.
Yes, Lamar, 3 for 3, 59 yards, and he has 3 carries for 12 yards and a touchdown for you fantasy owners. By the way, who are you facing this weekend?
Some guy. I don't really pay attention. I just worry about
Dan and
myself.
I are in the same fantasy league.
I don't think it's you.
No, it's not me.
Okay.
We would be talking trash to each other.
This afternoon, you get Cardinals Seahawks. Does that interest you at all?
I don't want to see a battle of birds.
Ooh, 2 unpredictable teams. Steelers, Rams. I just want to watch because you don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, Pittsburgh Rams?
You get the good Steelers, you get the bad Steelers.
Listen, I love this game.
Did
you know that, first of all, if you go to LA, it's going to be 60-40 the opposing team.
Steelers everywhere.
There's going to be a lot of Steeler fans.
Those Steeler fans are awesome, by the way.
And they're willing to spend money for tickets.
So the Philadelphia fans are terrible. On the other hand, across the state, Pittsburgh fans are fantastic. They're nice. They party. They understand the game. They enjoy. They don't fight with you. I really enjoy when Pittsburgh comes to town. I do.
I love Pitt.
What about Chiefs Chargers today at 4:25? Interesting.
Yes, because it's the Chargers. They're gonna do so. The Chargers gonna charge her away to lose.
Yeah, and the Chiefs always find a way to win.
And
Patrick Mahomes will find a way to win.
Listen, I'm gonna put a video. I'm setting up a video of the many times Patrick Mahomes leaves himself open to be decapitated by a defender, and either they've been warned or told prior to the season, do not touch Patrick Mahomes, or while they're running, they
slows up before he goes out of bounds, gives them a chance.
At least 3 plays this year. DJ Reed of the Jets a cornerback of the Denver Broncos on that Thursday night game, instead of going to hit Patrick Mahomes, he goes and looks to a offensive player to hit. He had a chance to hit Patrick Mahomes, and he went to the receiver to hit, and Mahomes got another 8 yards. I seriously think there is a rule they cannot touch Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Because he's been lined up to take a good, I'm talking about a significant hit, legal, and nobody wants to do it.
Nope.
So I'm going to see if Derwin James has an opportunity to hit Patrick Mahomes, because Derwin James always hitting somebody. He's always trying to knock somebody out.
I'll hit him.
If he doesn't hit Patrick Mahomes, there's a rule. There's an unwritten rule in the league not to hit Patrick Mahomes, because they don't want the money maker to go.
And you get a Dolty game at 4:25 also between the Packers and the Broncos. Not excited about that at all. That's just me, though.
Broncos against the Packers.
Yeah.
Nasty game.
It's going to be tough to watch.
Nasty game.
Let's get to some headlines. Tyler Van Dyke did not play last night due to a leg and hand injury. In his place, Emory Williams led the Canes to a 28-20 double overtime victory. Corey Flagg had the game-ending sack. Miami plays what would be an easy game against Virginia Saturday at 3:30, except Virginia. They went into North Carolina and beat North Carolina last night. What are you going to do? Jeff Wilson Jr. has been activated from the injured reserve. Fullback Alec Ingold is expected to also play for the Dolphins when they kick off at 8:20 tonight against the Eagles. Of course, that's what we're going to be talking about today. You got pregame coming up at 4 o'clock. Heat finalized their roster yesterday, signing Drew Smith to a multi-year deal and putting Cole Swider on a 2-year deal. They also waived Justin Champagnie and Check Diallo. The season starts Wednesday, 7:30, Kaseya Center against the Detroit Pistons. Should be sold out. Should be fun.
Should be sold out.
Huge question marks. We didn't see Jimmy play at all this preseason. Bam, Tyler, good in what they did, but can't take too much from preseason. Jaime Jaquez Jr. played all of like 10 minutes. Nikola Jovic, FIBA World Basketball Classic, looked pretty good. Looked pretty decent in the final preseason game. He's got some moves for a big man, but we don't know anything yet. And once again, we cannot doubt the team, because last year they told us not to doubt them. We doubted them. They went all the way to the finals. Speaking of doing that, Panthers, they lost last night to the Canucks 5-3. They are now 2-3 on the season. Next up, winless San Jose, Tuesday, 7:45. Got to win.
That's weird that they got all these West Coast teams coming early to South Florida.
Maybe it's setting up good for the end of the season.
If I'm the West Coast players, I don't want to be coming to South Florida this early.
No. You want to come middle, late season?
I'm going to come like in January, February, right before the
vacation.
Yeah.
But like we said, Sunrise is no longer a vacation for most teams. You used to be come here, get your vacation in, get your W, get your 2 points, and get out of here. Now, got the little home court advantage, a home ice advantage. You got the whole lower bowl sold out for the whole season. Crowds are raucous. Speaking of ending seasons, Inter Miami done. They lost last night 1-0 to Charlotte. To make it worse, Lionel Messi played every single minute and still could not muster a goal. Couldn't muster a goal, though.
He tried, though.
Did he get close?
Yeah, he did. He
Okay.
actually did. He did get close, but it didn't, it didn't hit the back of the net. So we are gone till next season. They are heading to China next month.
They're going to play 2 friendlies.
Yes. Get that Adidas money. And we'll see Lionel and the boys sometime in March, maybe?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how a whole season with the lineup and possible Luis Suarez and some of the other guys that they might bring in the offseason, what it's going to look like for an entire season as opposed to the back half of a season when you were already in dead last place. So interesting. Hope springs eternal. Zach Wheeler pitched for the Phillies last night, so now they're up 3-2 over the Diamondbacks in their series. The Astros up 3-2 against the Rangers. They play at 8 o'clock tonight. I'm going to try to keep an eye on that here and there. And NASCAR currently running in Homestead Miami Speedway. I saw the trucks were running earlier today. I'm guessing the Cup Series will play a run later on today. Once again, Bubba
Wallace.
Bubba Wallace is our guy. We love Bubba Wallace. Speaking of love, I always love taking a step into the day spa. An Atlanta woman went on vacation and returned to no home. The demolition crew apparently got the wrong address, and now she's homeless.
Nah. Oh, hell no. Hell no. A demolition crew got the wrong address, and no, listen.
Shouldn't you double check that?
No, this is okay. You know how sometimes we get upset with some of the things that are told to us? You know, you're the last line of defense.
Yeah.
There should have been at least 17 last lines of defense to make sure before this.
You don't look and see a fully furnished house and be like, okay. No neighbors call you up like, hey, there's a demolition crew in your front yard about to rip your house apart. Really?
That's crazy.
What do you do from there? Like,
That's insurance is gonna have to pay a lot.
Well, that's okay, but you're still homeless with no items.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's so much that's gonna have to be
replaced,
given to you. They got to give you walking around money like on the spot. They got to get you a hotel. They're gonna have to pay for your living expenses for the next however long it takes for them to build you a new house.
Lesson learned: never go on vacation.
Did they apologize?
I'm sure they did.
Jeez.
Do you have confidence in the Dolphins tonight, or do you have confidence in the Eagles? We'll discuss next here on Sports Day 560 WQAM.
Live or on demand? Just download the free Odyssey app and make WQAM your favorite station. And there we are, 24/7.
Last week, I'd be less confident in them coming into this game because I don't believe that they would approach it with the level of urgency it deserves. Somehow, some way, we find a way and they'd engage in all of those cliches and say, hey, you know what? We're going to be just fine. We're 6-0. We're 6-0 as opposed to 5-1. But I think losing the way that they did last week, with Jalen Hurts playing the way that he played, particularly in the fourth quarter with the 3 interceptions, with the Jets defense getting that kind of pressure. We ought to understand that although we respect the Miami Dolphins defensively, they ain't the New York Jets defense. Right. Their offense is prolific. Their defense is another matter. And because that's the reality, if you're the Philadelphia Eagles, you really, really need to get your house in order and make sure that you get things going. And this is the perfect opportunity for you to do that. Plus, there's going to be a level of urgency because of who else? Tyreek Hill coming into the house. The electrifying talent that he is, the fact that the Eagles defense at times appears suspect and you can take advantage of those things, to his ability to throw the long ball, not just the short ball. All of these things coming into the equation with their offense being as prolific as it is, the Eagles are going to have to get their backs up. They're going to have to be ready for this, RC, because if they don't, Miami has the potential to blow you the hell out of the building. I think they know that. Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, I think they'll be ready for it.
Stephen A. Smith making a good case for kind of both teams, but basically saying it's coming down to the Eagles. They, quote unquote, have their backs against the wall because they lost to the Jets in the manner they lost to the Jets last week. But watch out. The Dolphins come in and blow you out of the stadium. He's saying Eagles, strong, great team, defending NFC champions. The Dolphins, super high-powered offense with guys like Tyreek Hill, can come after you. Their defense isn't as good as the Jets defense, but he feels as though he has confidence in the Eagles because the Eagles lost last week. This game is more important to who, Vlad? The Dolphins or the Eagles, in your opinion? Stephen A. Smith is making a case for the Eagles because they don't want to be on a 2-game losing streak. Got to make a case, though, for the Dolphins, right?
I mean, both teams have both teams. This game is important for both teams. You don't like Stephen A. said, a 2-game losing streak, and the manner the Eagles have been playing, even though they've been winning. And I say just win, no matter how you win. I've never heard of a beautiful loss, but it's just gonna give more people more fodder for them to talk about, saying, "Oh, the Eagles on a Super Bowl hangover," or they, oh, Jalen got the money. Did he just stop playing well now after getting the money? Yeah, things like that. With the Dolphins, I think everybody's looking for a reason
to either elevate them
or to deflate them.
Right, that's true.
So it's that this is what this game does, because if they win tonight, all the people that love the Dolphins, all the media, the media analysts that been praising the Dolphins will look like geniuses.
Mm-hmm.
And now all you people who are saying, oh, the Dolphins don't get any love from anyone, they don't get the love from the media, you can't say that after tonight's game.
Do you think it's a good
if
thing?
They win.
Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing for the Dolphins that Philadelphia lost last week? Do you think it's something that's a positive, a negative? Or are you like me?
I think it didn't really matter.
Right.
I just think they were going to lose. They lost. They didn't play well, so they lost. If they clean the mistakes up, it should be a very competitive game. Dolphins win, all the media will go. The Dolphins lovers will go crazy. The Dolphins lose, and like I said over the past couple of days, the manner that they lose in will matter. Because if it's a field goal kick by Jake Elliott, you're like, you know what? Dolphins can play with anyone. Got to clean up a couple of things here and there. They're okay. If they lose by like 13 or 13, two possessions, 2 touchdowns, then you're gonna hear, no, the Dolphins could beat the bad teams like the Carolina Panthers, the New England Patriots, the New York Giants, drop 70 on Denver. But when they face formidable competition like the Bills and the Eagles, they didn't play as well as they shown. So a lot of people are gonna be like, are they front runners? Or can they really compete against competitive teams that are just as good as them? What happens when the offense is not hitting on all cylinders? There's gonna be a lot of answers to tonight's questions. So I think it's more but I think the Eagles had a bad loss. So I think it'll be more for the Eagles, especially, and they're the defending NFC champions.
I'll argue with you. I'll say that the Dolphins, this game means more to them, or they have more on the line than the Eagles. The Eagles, yes, they don't want a 2-game losing streak. I don't think them winning or losing last week has anything to do with this week. Sunday to Sunday, totally different days, totally different games, totally different everything. To say that they're not fired up to come in and play a 5-1 Dolphins team that has a high-powered offense, to say they're more fired up because they lost last week. No, it's one of those things. You take on the opponent you take on. But this is why I think it's more important for the Dolphins. The Dolphins, this is a game where they can actually prove themselves because they haven't had a lot of chances, or at least they haven't taken advantage of the chances, as we talked about yesterday, to prove themselves in big games where they could really make a statement. It kind of fell short. This is a chance to say Tua is 100% healthy. We're not 100% healthy, but nobody is. This is on the road with all eyes watching. We can go in there, make that statement that we have arrived. Forget the Buffalo game earlier this year. We had a chance there. We fell short. This is our chance to prove to the world that we are as good as we think we are. Philadelphia, whether they win or lose, they already have that reputation of they're strong, they're tough, they've made it to a Super Bowl, they almost won a Super Bowl, they're not going anywhere. Philadelphia, win or lose tonight, I still think the narrative is they're not going anywhere. They just need to get some things right. A little bit of a Super Bowl hangover. The Dolphins lose tonight, and it's all they do is beat up on the bottom feeders. And whenever they play someone big, strong, and decent, they fall apart. You don't want that if you're the Dolphins. That's a nasty reputation to have. So this is your chance to kind of cleanse that reputation right there and go up against a big, strong, nasty team in a hostile environment and say, nah, we can handle this. In lack of terms, we're not sissies. I'll put it simple. We're not sissies. We're tough.
Well, I'm happy you brought that up because
let's go.
You've also mentioned that they're a finesse team. And I don't think Mike McDaniel wants to be referred to the Dolphins as a finesse team. I think Mike McDaniel, if he comes from that Kyle Shanahan tree, you know this one thing about Kyle Shanahan. The 49ers are not a soft team.
No, man, they're nasty.
They're nasty.
They're gritty. That defense,
they are nasty. They want to they want to hit you in the mouth, and I think Mike McDaniel wants to do that. That's why it would have been very interesting if Achan would have been playing today, because I think that type of player who can cause so much matchup nightmares would do a lot. Would cause a lot of problems for Philadelphia. Bad thing for the Dolphins is that Jalen Carter will be available tonight, and he causes so much pressure up the middle that this is probably going to be the first time that this offensive line, maybe since the Buffalo game, is going to have their hands full. Like, I really think they're going to have their hands full.
They will.
So,
but every offensive line has their hands full.
So we're going to see how quick Tua gets the ball out.
He's got the quickest release in the game,
and we're going to see how good the Eagles are in tackling, because they're going to have to tackle. If they miss a tackle with any of the Miami outside talent, with Tyreek, Waddle, Mostert, they're out. Chosen, Berrios, they're gone.
Once they get past that first line, you can see them when they get past the first line. There is no angle you're going to have on those guys because they are just way too fast. This is what I'd like to see from Mike McDaniel tonight. Come out aggressive and loose and easy. Don't play tight. Play aggressive. Like we talked about earlier this week, Vlad. If the Dolphins win the coin toss, what do you want to see them do?
Take it. Receive it and take the possession first.
If you have an offense that's making history as one of the greatest of all time, why wouldn't you want the ball more? Go out there and say, we'll take the ball. We're not deferring. Whether it makes sense or not. No, go out there and be aggressive. Play loose. Don't be conservative. You've gotten where you're at by rolling the dice and playing loose and easy. and throwing it all over the yard. If you go out there and run first down, run second down, try to get it on third, run first down, run second down, try to get it on third, that's not you. You play tight, you'll be tight. You play loose and easy, be yourself, you'll be fine. I'd like to see Mike McDaniel go out there and punch him in the mouth. First play of the game, what do you think I want to see? Tyreek Hill deep. Let's go. Now, that could also be a detriment because the front four could be taking a picture in your backfield, like the team picture in your backfield. But at least, hey, you know what? You go down on your sword and you go out fighting and you go out the way playing your game. That's all you can. Sounds like $1 Million Baby. I know. You go out fighting, you go out playing your game. That's all you can ask right there. You go in there, you play your game, you give it your all, and you lose. Tip of the hat. But if you go in there and play your game, playing not your game, I don't think you're going to win. But I think it's more important for the Dolphins. The Dolphins need to A, prove more than the Eagles, and B, need to change kind of the narrative and the reputation that they've kind of garnered, especially after the Bills loss, that they can go in there, they can be tough, they can be rough, and they can make things happen. So we'll see what happens. Mike McDaniel, I want to see these first scripted plays, don't you, Vlad? Because what is it? The first 15 plays are usually scripted. You know he's got something sweet that he has cooked up for those first 15 plays, at least at some point.
It's gonna be listen, I can't wait to watch this game because I really want to see how Philadelphia responds after that loss to the Jets last Sunday.
And
if the Dolphins win again, you know how many games they're probably gonna have to they're going to try to move them into national primetime television.
To get a little more later games.
Yeah. I won't be shocked. I won't be, because they will prove that they're 2-0 on Sunday Night Football, and they have the most exciting offense in the game. So yeah, there's going to be more of a I say maybe from the media, from the fans, the fans across the NFL, that they wouldn't want to see the Miami Dolphins on national TV. So don't be surprised if a lot of games get flexed, if their Dolphin games get flexed.
3 things you'll hear from the national media tomorrow. Guaranteed. A, Dolphins are the best team in the NFL. B, what's wrong with the Dolphins? They can't beat a good team or a physical team. Or C, last night was a Super Bowl preview. What a game. That's the 3 things that are going to happen tomorrow, possibly. I don't see it varying from any of those 3 things. Hopefully it's, you just saw a preview of the Super Bowl. Dolphins win 31-27. Could happen. That's why they play the game. Up next, going to give you a little nay or day, thumbs up, thumbs down on Sports Day 560 WQAM.
I'm the Osiris of this. Wu-Tang is here forever.
Let's do it, Vlad. A little Nay or Day, thumbs down for the Nay, thumbs up for the day. Some of the things that happened in the sports world, some of the things that were said, some of the things that were done. We'll commentate on it. Stephen A. Smith, the talk of a lot of people here in South Florida, because I'll be honest with you, I think he kind of was misunderstood or maybe missaid what he really meant, but came out this week that he says Tua Tagovailoa, good quarterback, but he's got the best receiver in the game, Tyreek Hill. What I think he meant to say was, even if he doesn't go downfield to him, he can dip and dunk and still lead the league because Tyreek Hill will catch passes and go off. He forgot to say could. I think he said he does. And all of a sudden, everybody's like, no. And even when he was saying that he dips and dunks, they were showing long bombs of highlights over when he was talking. So I don't know how you feel about the situation. What did you gather from Stephen A? Did you feel as though he misspoke? Did you feel as though maybe he was just misinformed? Or do you feel as though he's just throwing things out there to stir the pot?
I think it was more of misspeaking.
Right.
He misspoke.
Because as we heard earlier, who's even going, he still throws passes.
You know what I'm saying? But I understand his point. I mean, with a guy like Tyreek and all the speed that you have there, he can just dump off a 2 to 5 yard pass and it can go for many yards yards after contact, yards, after the catch. But he just can't say just certain words you can't say that's all. You can't say that because all they're gonna show you then is all the 20+ yard bombs that Tua has been completing to the receivers. Right. So it is what it is, man.
So,
I think it's one of those weeks when you don't have the Cowboys playing, you don't have the Jets playing, you don't have a lot of the big teams playing, so you need to come up with anything.
Right. But with that being said, that brings us to our first Nay or Day. Tyreek Hill was on his podcast and wasn't specifically, well, he was kind of specifically Stephen A. Smith, but overall, he is just straight up tired of all the hate that his quarterback has been getting over the years.
But I'm sick and tired of people bashing my quarterback, man, for no reason. I'm sick of it. I'm standing on the table and saying right now, I'm sick of people bashing my quarterback, man. He's been doing a hell of a job this year, and people need to stop giving him crap. You feel me? Like, a lot of people don't understand what my dog went through just to get here, man. Like, what he went through last year especially. And to get to where he is now, being talked about as an MVP, that's next level, man. I don't know too many quarterbacks that's doing it.
Let's bring this back. I do recall last season after the first 3 games that everybody was going crazy for the Dolphins and Tua was everybody's MVP after the first 3 games. Then obviously the concussion happened.
Yeah.
All right. He missed 3 games, I believe. Then he came back and then the Dolphins were on a 5-game winning streak and he was the main piece of that. So there's been a lot of positive remarks towards Tua. No more concerned about can he throw the ball, no more concerned can he quarterback. I think going into this season, the concern was can he remain healthy. I think through the first 6 weeks, we could say that the jiu-jitsu and everything that he's taken has helped. So now, what is it now? They're gonna try to find something. I don't think they can find anything more on Tua. So now it's gonna be, can the offense play in, this high quality offense, this high scoring offense? Are they good on the road? Are they good in cold weather? Gritty? Are they good against teams who who are tough and physical? That's what's gonna happen. Now they're gonna see. Now the narrative is gonna be: are the Dolphins a finesse team, like you said, or they can play in any type of game? And I think they showed that last season that they can play in any type of game.
Yeah, they went to Buffalo and played great. They should have won. Not a beautiful loss because there are no such things.
There are no beautiful losses, but they played 2 games in Buffalo where they could have won, and those 2 games were without Tua as starting quarterback. So if you're a Dolphins fan and if my quarterback's upright, I could whoop anybody's ass.
That's true. I give it a day because I like Tyreek Hill. He's standing by his guy. He knows how his guy has been kind of torn down. We're not getting back into Brian Flores over the past couple of years. He's now building him up. That's amazing. I still think besides not just Tyreek Hill's physical attributes, I think that mentality that he's brought to this team has been more than worth its weight in gold. So definitely a day right there on Tyreek Hill.
Quick update. Anybody who is on the Detroit Lions bandwagon? Ravens 21, Detroit 0.
I'm not going to say when everybody was, Detroit might be in the Super Bowl this year. I was a detractor saying, no, they're not. But
everybody gets bad games. But right
That's
now,
true.
Lamar Jackson is 14 for 17 for 207 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he's also got 5 carries for 18 yards and a touchdown. So Lamar Jackson is whooping. It's putting up silly.
I was gonna say
silly sauce numbers on fantasy.
Get ready for the narrative. Lamar Jackson has one good game.
Oh,
give us more. And the narrative: Detroit, nothing's wrong, just a bump in the road. We'll see. Now, I'm not going to say a young man. I'm going to say a man. Yesterday on the national stage, in the national spotlight, had himself a game. 12 o'clock, high noon. You have Ohio State, Penn State, 2 undefeated teams in the Big Ten, throwing it down. No one seemed to be really getting ahead of each other until one Marvin Harrison Jr. stepped up and just had himself a game, including this late touchdown.
3rd down and 11 at the 19. McCord over the middle. Harrison Jr. again down the sideline. Maserati Mar. Touchdown. Buckeyes. Speed. Agility. Power. Balance. Maserati.
First of all, thumbs up on that call, by the way. Second of
Man,
all,
it's Gus. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Gus Johnson. You talk about the best of the best.
That was unbelievable.
All right.
Marvin Harrison Jr., 11 receptions, 162 yards, 1 touchdown.
And more talkative than his father.
And by the way, the rest of his teammates only had like 140-something yards receiving.
Yeah, that quarterback stinks in Ohio State. I'm sorry. He's not that good.
But Marvin Harrison Jr.
is really good.
Day all day right there, man. He is, and he comes from the good lineage right there as far as his players, his father, Peyton Manning, those guys. Man, he is a baller. I got to give him credit. I wanted to give him a shout out. Now, I really wanted to kind of bury Foster Moreau of the New Orleans Saints. Now, Vlad, he dropped a pass that was just an easy touchdown. I think the Saints go for 2 afterwards. I think they get it. I think they win the game. Foster Moreau, can't hate on too much. He's Cajun. Look at the name Moreau. He's from New Orleans, went to Jesuit High School. I'm not a big lover of Jesuit High if you're from the New Orleans area. Went to LSU. I'm an alum. Plays for the Saints. Lots of love. I don't hate him, and I'm definitely not going to throw him under the bus. Alvin Kamara didn't throw him under the bus. In fact, Alvin Kamara really stepped up for his teammate.
Foster is a pro. It's going to be bigger plays. It's going to be more plays out there. And I just told him, man, he blessed from what he been through. That ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not nothing, man. I ain't worried about Foster not making that play. Honestly, I don't feel like we should be in that position right there where we looking at that and we like, oh, man, he should have caught it. Man, of course he should have caught it. He know he should have caught it. Anybody in that position right there should have caught it. We pros. But, man, Foster, man, if there's anybody out there that cares, that's uplifting his teammates, that's doing everything he can to try to get a win and try to uplift everybody else to get them in the right mind frame to win, man, it's him. So, man, I'm not worried about that. It is what it is. We're going on to the next.
I'm going to give that a day because Alvin Kamara, just being a good teammate, everybody knows you should have caught the pass. Backing him up, saying he's our guy.
That's what he says in front of the camera.
Right. Well, no, what they say in the locker room, that's totally different. You heard him take a little shot, too. Everybody knows you should have caught that. We all should have caught that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, damn.
Pat him on the back, punch him in the stomach a little bit.
Jeez.
Don't you dare drop that pass again.
God, I thought everybody, you were trying to cheer that man up. Why you had to remind everybody he should have caught that damn pass?
You got to pat him on the back and punch him in the stomach a little bit at the same time.
Pat him on the back and punch him on the stomach.
Last but not least, of course, everyone's making it a big deal. Tua, Jalen Hurts. The battle, the saga continues. Tua, he said, yeah, we played together at Alabama, but I don't remember very much.
Man, I don't remember much. I don't remember much of it. I just remember being able to come into the national championship game and play. And I just had an opportunity, to go out there and help our team win. But really that's all that I can remember. And Georgia Bulldogs that we got to play against and beat. But other than that, that's all I remember.
Vlad,
that's BS.
Nay or day?
That's a nay.
You beat me to it.
Come on, man. That's all you remember. You took that man's job.
That's
you
all
took his
I
girl
remember.
too. No, I'm just
First
kidding.
of all, you two are a very virtuous, very upstanding young man. Why are you gonna lie straight up like that?
So you don't remember being teammates with that guy? Come on. You remember Mac?
He literally blacked out the whole season.
Right. He remembered Mac. He's always remember. Oh, it was a great time. Oh, you remember your time with when Mac Jones was under you, but you don't remember when you and Jalen Hurts were battling when everybody was like, yeah, Jalen Hurts is winning, but damn, that number 13 over there, man, he really throwing that ball. He really can throw the ball. You don't remember everybody saying that you should have been the man, and then you became the man, led them to a national championship, got drafted. Many people thought you were going to be number one if you didn't have that hip injury.
You did not have that hip injury.
So stop, man.
So
Stop.
you expect me to believe you blacked out, not just for an entire season, all the way through the first half of the national championship game. Then you remember coming in and winning. That's it. That's all you remember.
Maybe one of those concussions maybe blacked him out. Maybe made him forget those times in Alabama. Get out of here. You knew what you were doing in Tuscaloosa.
That's a nay on you, Vlad. That's a nay on you.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Talking
I'm just
about the
saying.
concussions.
Well, how's he not going to remember his teammate? What kind of BS is he trying to trying to get by us right now?
Oh goodness. It was angering just listening to it. Like, I understand what he's trying to do, but come on, man. Not to take over Randy Moss. Come on, man.
Stop. You know what it is. This is about you being the man in Alabama. You have a chance to beat all the Alabama quarterbacks that are starting the NFL right now.
Say this. I remember what happened at Alabama, and I'm making them remember why Sunday night. More next here on Sports Day 560 WQAM.
Listen to Messi and Inter Miami.
It's Sports Day with Dan Day.
Let's break it down.
Break it down.
Tua has the inside track to winning the MVP this season.
He does.
Let's look back first before we go forward. Today, of course, is a huge one, but he's already made his case and he is the front runner. He started it in week 1, huge game against the Chargers, winning 36-34. A lot of people watching. It was an afternoon game. You think?
I don't know if a lot of people watching because there was a lot of games spread out.
But it was an afternoon game.
It was an afternoon game. It wasn't the prominent game, but it was, to me, the best game of week 1, and he checked that box.
He
with
checks
an
3 boxes.
unbelievable performance.
3 boxes. He gets the win. He has a great game, and he wins the duel against Justin Herbert.
Yes, narratives matter.
Go up against the Patriots. You beat Belichick. Give him a check there.
You own Belichick.
Broncos, you were basically perfect and scored 70 points.
We haven't seen 70 dropped in a long time in an NFL game.
Could have been more. Go to the Bills. You got handled. Okay.
But you get the Buffalo back at the end of the season.
Right. You got a chance to go up against Josh Allen again. You get a chance to redeem yourself.
Week 18 could be for the AFC East division title.
Where all the marbles. Yep, that game's going to be exciting. So the Giants, you win 31-16. You do what you got to do.
New York market saw you.
Yeah.
They saw that you played well, even though you did have 2 turnovers, but you did outplay their quarterback.
Panthers, you show that you can come back from a deficit. You're down 14-0, even though they're the worst team in the league. Give them a check right there.
You did what you had to do.
Tonight.
Let's
talk about the boxes you have to check. I'm liking checking these boxes. Number 1, everyone's watching. Huge game.
All eyes on you.
Play well. Check. Win the game.
Tupac.
Check. And you know what the third check is?
Versus Jalen Hurts.
Exactly.
Yes.
Check.
Come on. We need the narratives. We need the subplots. And guess what, guys? This is a good subplot.
Woo! You do what you have to do tonight. You check those 3 boxes. Ooh, you are way inside on this track to win the MVP. Now, go ahead against the Patriots next week. Check whatever box you want. November 5th, Frankfurt, Germany, the Chiefs.
Sunday morning.
Breakfast of Champions.
While I go get my Vicky Bakery or Vicky Bakery, I don't know. I've always wanted to know the battle between Vicky. No, but there's Vicky also.
Oh, there's a
Vicky and there's a Vicky. I don't know. I've been trying to figure out who was first, who's better. Nobody wants to let me know. 305-567-05.
Now, if one of those bakeries wants to drop by some product and have us figure it out on the radio, we'll be more than happy to do that.
Whoever wants to drop off every Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, or Sunday afternoon between noon to 4, and we'd like to try your beautiful bakeries and coffee,
pastries and
coffee
and
all of that,
cakes and sweets,
and we will give you the decision of who is the best bakery. But yes,
and I mean Christmas is coming up. Pan de jamon, bring it by. We're ready. Okay, but yeah, the Chiefs Sunday morning. So many boxes for Tua to check. Number 1, the feature game of the week. Once again, that's a big deal. Everyone's going to be watching, or at least everyone's going to be talking about it. Number 2, you play well. Check. Number 3, you win the game. Check. Number 4, you beat the defending Super Bowl champions. Oh, yeah, by the way, if you beat the Eagles, you defeat the NFC defending champions. And number 5, you beat Patrick Mahomes. That's a lot of checks.
You're talking about the Chiefs.
Yeah, if you play the Chiefs.
Yeah, you beat the defending AFC champions.
No, well, you beat the Super Bowl champions.
Listen,
in the same season, in 3 weeks.
You would have beaten the 2
teams that went to the
finalists of the Super Bowl last year. And if you outplayed them, you would have beaten last year's MVP, and you would have beaten the runner-up to last season's MVP. And then that would be.
You check all those boxes, it's a walk to the MVP after the Chiefs.
Well, you have a game where on Monday Night Football against Tennessee, if you put up some numbers on there, then yeah, you're pretty much going to be the favorite to go. And then there's one game. But there's 2 games.
There's actually 2 games. I'm looking at it right now, and I'm waiting for you to say it, and I agree. I already agree. I know what you're going to say.
And the great thing about this is both games are at home. And it's going to mean something. Christmas Eve, 4:25 against America's team, the Dallas Cowboys.
Everyone's home watching.
You beat Dallas. That's going to be the A block. First story next day on every sporting sport news show across the country. Undisputed, First Take, Get Up.
That's all they talk about.
All they're gonna talk about. Our girl Joy with Speak. They're all gonna talk about the performance the Dolphins did against the Cowboys, and if Tua lights up that defense, especially that defense.
That's a good defense with Micah Parsons and those
Micah
guys.
Parsons. You're talking about Stephon Gilmore.
Yes, indeed.
Tank Lawrence. All of them. You're talking about you do that against that team, and especially in a game where both teams will probably need to win to solidify their playoff positioning, and you do that, then that leaves all that leaves is Week 18 against Josh Allen.
There's still a lot of boxes to check. I think the Jets, November 24th in New York. It's a 3:00 game. You're playing up against
it's
a
a
defense that is
game
stingy.
now I find out. 3
It's
o'clock is 3 o'clock is the pregame. I thought it was 3 o'clock too, because I have a theory that the NFL is going to try to put 2 games on Black Friday starting soon, and then maybe try to make it into 3 games on Thursday and 3 games on Friday. But if you win
Black
the
Friday
first
signature
inaugural
game,
the inaugural Black Friday game
against a defense that, let's admit, is stingy. They made Jalen Hurts look bad.
Against one of the best defenses in the NFL, and that hopefully gets healthy and strengthens and gets better. But you do well against that Jets defense, you pull out a victory.
That's a lot of checks.
It's a lot of checks.
You get the Commanders the next week. You got to do what you got to do. You get the Titans on a Monday night. Once again, all eyes on me.
That's a big. That's
like Tupac.
That's going to be two.
Get the Jets again. We've already talked about the Jets, the Cowboys. Ravens are a good team. Look what they're doing to the Detroit Lions right now. Is it still 28-0, or are they advanced to 35-0? I'm not asking if the Detroit Lions have scored.
No BS. It's 28-0. And they just got the ball on a turnover on downs.
So you get the Ravens on New Year's Eve.
That's good. Oh, you know what? Those last 3 games are going to be tough.
But then you might get the Bills for a winner take the AFC East division / revenge game / MVP race runner up / winner.
Low key, that Baltimore-Miami game could be for the top seed in the AFC.
It could be. But if Tua can answer, and you know what, do we expect him to answer and check every single box? No, it's the NFL. It's almost impossible. But if you check a lot of boxes, Vlad, Tua, very reasonably to say right now, this early in the season, has a great chance to be the MVP this year. Going out,
wow.
not really going out on a limb. We've kind of walked our way through.
Nah, as more and more you're looking at it, it is.
He's got every opportunity. Every opportunity.
It is setting up for him to win.
Let's go out there and get it done.
Up for him to win.
Get it started tonight, 8:30 in Philadelphia at the Link. Let's get to some headlines. Tyler Van Dyke did not play last night due to some leg and arm and hand injuries. In his place, Emory Williams. He led the Canes to a 28-20 double overtime victory. Corey Flagg had that big game-ending sack. Miami plays Virginia Saturday at 3:30. Jeff Wilson Jr., he has been activated off the IR. Fullback Alec Ingold, he is expected to play today as the Dolphins take on those Philadelphia Eagles at 8:20 tonight. The Heat finalized their roster yesterday, signing Drew Smith to a multi-year deal and putting Cole Swider on a 2-way deal. They also waived Justin Champagnie and Czech Diallo. The season starts Wednesday, 7:30 at the Kaseya Center against the Detroit Pistons. Inter Miami, they fell 1-0 last night to Charlotte FC. And Charlotte FC has now made it into the play-in game. Inter Miami going home. Lionel Messi said, this coming December is going to be the first December I've actually had a vacation in the past 20 years. Getting a little vacation time.
He said he's going to have his first vacation in 20 years?
Because he's always been playing
16?
Since he's been playing with FC Barcelona, 16 years old, and PSG and international duty and everything like that. Because they're always in some type of cup or tournament because they're always in the top of La Liga or Ligue 1. For those years he was in PSG, or he's got the international duty. So this December, I think he has like 2 weeks off, 2 or 3 weeks off. He's not going to know what to do with himself. He's never had this long of a break in his career. Loving Miami, I guess. Sam Reinhart had 2 goals in the third period, but it wasn't enough as the Panthers fell to the Canucks 5-3. Next up, winless San Jose Sharks. They are coming to town Tuesday at 7:45. Paul Maurice had to make some moves last night. He didn't like the way some of his lines were working, so he started off with his 4th line to begin the third period, and they responded. They got back into the game, tied it. They were down 3-1, tied at 3-3,
and lost.
And then lost. And there was an open netter at the end, so 5-3 sounds a little worse. It was really 4-3, but open netters count, so there you go. FAU fell to Texas San Antonio 36-10. They play Charlotte Friday at 7:30. FIU will face Jacksonville State Wednesday at 7:30. Now remember, Jacksonville State, not in Florida. It's in Alabama.
Wait, what?
Yes, sir. You didn't know that, did you?
No, I did it. You really just
Yeah,
blew my mind.
You have me now second guessing myself.
No. I think you're right, but it's just crazy because it's universities. They got some crazy names.
Yeah, it's in the state of Alabama. Yeah, because I remember a guy for LSU named Ryan Perilou, who was a big-time All-American.
Oh
recruit.
yeah, was he
ended up
quarterback, right?
Yeah, he ended up getting in some trouble, and really,
Is that what happened to him?
yeah, well, he had gotten in trouble before he came to school, and then when he came to school, he was on like a zero tolerance thing. And to be honest, what happened behind the scenes, I can say this now because I'm sure the statute of limitations is up. He was at a bar in Baton Rouge one night, and they were kind of arguing with the bouncers, and a bouncer pushed his pregnant girlfriend, and it started a fight. And since he was on zero tolerance, they kicked him out of school, even though I think it would have been far worse if he wouldn't have fought a bouncer that pushed his pregnant girlfriend. But nonetheless, he ended up at Jacksonville State. I was like, oh, what's he doing over in Jacksonville, Florida? And they're like, oh, no. It's in the state of Alabama. I don't know why we went off on that tangent.
No, just famous people from the Jacksonville State area.
Yeah, Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State, one year they beat Ole Miss when they were still like an FBS school. I remember that. So proud of them, man. Hate Ole Miss. God. Zach Wheeler, wheeling and dealing. Phillies pitcher goes 7 innings, giving up 1 run. Philadelphia up 3-2 in their series with the Diamondbacks. While tonight, the Astros up 3-2 against the Rangers. Look to end the season for those Texas Rangers at 8 o'clock. Former Marlins owner Jeff Loria says he thinks Kim Ng did the right thing by leaving the organization because she was not properly rewarded for bringing the team to the postseason. He also kind of took a shot at Derek Jeter.
Why are you taking a shot at Jeter when Jeter hasn't been the general man that hasn't owned the team in 4 years?
He said he can't believe he came in and just fired everybody, including the talent, scouts.
Who, Jeter?
Yeah.
When, 4 years ago?
Yeah.
But he hired Kim.
Yeah.
So what are you saying there?
He said Loria didn't like the way that Jeter
Loria doesn't like anything with Jeter because he took away that center field statue.
Oh yeah,
that ridiculous.
But he put it outside. He didn't get rid of it. He didn't throw it in the city dump.
Whatever, man. Loria, do something with your life.
He's trying to sell some more artwork in a book that he has. I don't know what's going on. I know what's going on though. We can always take a step into the day spa. A woman excitedly tells her husband that she's pregnant. In turn, he demands that she take a paternity test.
That means, he might know that his swimmers aren't or Michael Phelpson.
It's one of those things.
No, you know that you know when your swimmers aren't Michael Phelpson.
They've been trying to have a baby.
Okay, so he knows those swimmers aren't Michael Phelpson.
He took a guy's weekend.
Those swimmers aren't Michael Phelpson. That's what he's letting you know.
How do you approach that? I'm going to ask you, Vlad, a tough situation. You and your old lady, she gets pregnant, and you have some doubts. How do you cross that bridge to being like, I love you. I'm almost 100% sure, but just for sure, or maybe you say the insurance needs it or something like that. I don't know how you say, like, maybe we should just take a paternity test to be sure, because you don't want to go 18 years, and on the 18th year, find out it ain't his.
That's nasty work, man.
I hope I never am in that situation.
It's nasty work.
Nasty work.
Yeah, if he's letting you know that he wants to take a...
that means he's questioning you.
That means he's questioning you because he knows for a fact. Because you know. And you know when you go to the doctor and the doctor's like,
the doctor kind of looks at you funny.
Like there's no, because here's the thing though. What if he never told her that his guys can't swim?
Well, then there's definite questions.
No, it's the question. Obviously, but he's wrong for not letting her know.
Mm-hmm.
Because you going Monday Night Raw, and then all of a sudden, there's nothing coming out. People are gonna want to know why.
What?
So yeah, so he knows he's not swimming up. His guys aren't swimming upstream, so he wants to know how did this baby get formed.
I would ask that question too oh man, tough situation right there. I'm glad I'm not in it.
Prayers to everybody involved.
Obviously. We're going to get back to Dolphins and Hurricanes talk, but real quick, in the next segment, we're going to take a quick break and talk about the upcoming heat season here on 560 WQAM.
WQAM, broadcasting live from the Ed Moore Sawgrass Auto Mall Studios. Shop massive savings on a massive Chevy inventory, all backed by Morse at Ed Moore Sawgrass Chevrolet. Visit EdMooreSawgrassChevrolet.com. Chevy, find new roads. Join Dolphin safety Javon Holland live every Tuesday at Hollywood Kia with Hawk and Crowder. They'll break down the previous Dolphins game and, of course, all the other shenanigans that we love Hawk and Crowder for. Come say hi to Javon Holland, Hawk and Crowder at Hollywood Kia. Hollywood Kia is the home of the no dealer fee. Want to see you in a Hollywood Kia. Volume sales January to December 2021. And join Hawk and Crowder every Tuesday with a Dolphin.
And take us wherever you go.
Getting ready for Dolphins Eagles pregame. Going to start at 4 o'clock. Kickoff is at 8:20. It's one of those special nights where you go all out. And I'm not just talking about the Dolphins and the Eagles. I'm talking about food, drinks, and fun. Of course, Wednesday is the start of the Heat's season. And recently, ESPN came out with their 2023-2024 rankings of watchability when it comes to all 30 NBA teams. Kind of just taking into the excitement and the high potential and the strategy and style, all the other fun stuff. Worst team to watch? Not the Heat. It's the Washington Wizards, in their opinion. I can kind of see that. Coming to town this coming Wednesday, the Detroit Pistons coming at 29th. I'm not going to bore you with all the boring teams in the league. Portland's also up there. Got rid of Damian Lillard. Nonetheless, the Heat, as you would suspect, very low on the list. In at number 22, some teams make scoring seem effortless. With the Heat, you notice the effort. It is true. You do see sometimes, but Tyler Hero is going to get some extra points this year. They had a really bad offense last year, but you still got Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. I like it. Who starts at point guard? Kyle Lowry or Josh Richardson? Who do you think starts at point guard this year? I think it's going to be Kyle Lowry.
I think KL will.
I think in the preseason, he kind of seemed like he had a good grasp and he kind of knew how to make this engine run. So I do think Kyle Lowry is your starting point guard. Although I do like Josh Richardson a lot. I think he's going to make a huge difference on the team this year. Still got the question marks surrounding Nikola Jovic, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Haywood Highsmith got some issues. So they're saying, the Heat is not the sexiest style of basketball, but I also feel as though I don't care about being sexy. I care about being in the finals. I care about going deep in the playoffs. I care about winning championships. That's the funnest type of basketball to watch, Vlad. Because I watch the Pelicans. They're a very exciting team to watch. They don't win anything.
Your boy is in shape, man.
I know.
I saw him the other night.
Got to stay healthy, though.
He was looking like, yeah, man, he got all those side chicks, all those porn stars out of his system. He was dunking, stealing the ball. Yeah, it looks good. Man, it's going to be a great NBA season. So much parity, so many teams that are going to be competing for playing spots. Seeding is going to be.
You got the midseason tournament.
Yeah, I'm still. Yeah,
but the games count though towards the regular season too. So that's
but you know what? Some teams will. Hey, let me get a week off in December. Like those are. Think about it right now in the NBA. You get a week off in December, and then you get another week off in February, right during the All-Star break. So they can't say that they're not trying to help these players and these teams.
Well, they can't rest that much anymore.
Yeah, I don't mean. But of course you got LeBron's like I'm not gonna rest.
Oh, I think the players are gonna do what the hell they want to do.
Yeah, I'm like I'm not gonna rest. Like I don't care. See, here's the thing, guys. Do we really care about the regular season?
I do.
Okay, because we were. But if you ask every Heat fan right now, or even Panthers fan right now, they rather fast forward these next 82 games and just put them in the playoffs. That's it.
I've always
simulate the games, give them a record, and then just be like, all right, you're 44-38, you're the 5th seed. Okay, the Heat fans will be like, all right, cool. They're not afraid of taking on anyone. You think the Miami Heat are afraid to take on anyone? Put it this way: when teams look at, okay, we're the 1 seed. Wait a minute, it's Miami. So Miami's between that 7 and 8, huh? Oh, maybe we might want to lose this game to Charlotte. Maybe we might want to lose this game to Orlando, slip to the 2 seed and not have to face Miami. Miami and the Florida Panthers are teams that nobody want to face in the playoffs, so they don't want to. They rather them win, so they don't have to face them in the first round. But it's good, like I told you, bro. You cannot look at this upcoming 23-24 season for either team. If they struggle, you be upset, and if they do well, you're just gonna be like, well, that's what you expect from those teams. It's a weird position.
I'm withholding judgment at least till the very, very end of the season, and at that point, I'm still gonna be like, if you're in the playoff hunt, do what you got to do. I am saying, I think one of the reasons why, especially the Heat, are so dangerous in the playoffs is because Eric Spoelstra has said this: we learn who we are, what works and what doesn't work during the regular season. I think the regular season is important. I also like the narrative. I like the story. I like following the players. I like game to game. I like looking back and saying, oh, remember when we lost 3 games? We thought we were the worst team in the league. And then we went on an 8-game winning streak and we realized we figured out this and this. I like that, man. Nonetheless, the Pelicans' 15th most watchable team in the NBA, right ahead of them, San Antonio. I will say Victor Wembanyama is the entire reason why San Antonio is one of the more watchable teams in the league. He is, and I mean this in the nicest way, a freak. He can block you. He can shoot a 3. He can rebound. He can play point guard. He can do it absolutely. Indiana Pacers. What in the world? I don't want to watch a Pacers game. I don't want to watch a Cleveland Cavaliers game. I mean, are Cleveland and Indiana more exciting to watch than the Heat? I would not say that.
I guess
ESPN is saying that.
Donovan Mitchell is more exciting.
I mean,
player to
is
watch.
Tyrese Halliburton really getting you to turn the knob?
Halliburton's a good player.
He is a good player. Miles Turner, he'd have been great with the Heat. Donovan, Max Strus. I mean, that's a reason you were going to watch the Cleveland Cavaliers, right? See what Max Strus does? Cheers. Don't worry, you'll get to see plenty of Gabe Vincent because the Lakers are on every single night of the week, it seems like.
No, you'll see him Tuesday.
Oh, goodness. Oh, yeah, that's right. They're opening the season, right?
Yeah, they open the season against Denver.
It's going to be them. They're the only game on?
No, then Golden State versus Phoenix.
Okay. At least they start the season off pretty exciting.
They basically let you know they really love the West.
Obviously, yeah. And this is the thing. Everybody's like, oh, the Lakers are always on. Well, the teams out on the West, there's not that many of them, to be honest. You have, of course, Lakers, Clippers, Portland, and then everybody else.
The whole division can make the playoffs.
Right.
In the West. Like the whole division didn't make the playoffs last year.
But what I'm saying, as far as late night games, you don't have a lot of choices. They have to be playing at Phoenix.
Bro, I don't
LA,
care. I'd rather wait
Portland.
up for listen. I will stay up for a Sacramento Phoenix game.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Sacramento.
I will stay up for a Sacramento Golden State game.
Oh no, I will.
I will stay up for a Lakers Clippers game. Like the West has, don't get it twisted. The West has
no, but what I'm saying is, a lot of the times you are kind of limited in who you're going to get to watch on that late night game because
you're not.
Because some of the West Coast teams like New Orleans are in the central time zone. They don't want to get tipped off at 9, 10, 11
That's why they tip off at 8 p.m. So
right.
if New Orleans is on televised game, they're going to be the first game.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. But the late game, that's why you're kind of limited to only a couple
You're
teams.
not limited. You're limited.
At home.
No, you're not. It's just that there's certain teams that are more exciting. You're not limited. You have Denver. Doesn't Denver start at 10:30?
Yes.
Okay.
They're in the mountain time zone.
Okay. So you have Utah, even though Utah is not good. You have teams that you can start at 10:30, 10 p.m. Portland, when they had Dame. You had teams where you can start at 10:30. The other teams, if it's a Dallas, you're going to start Dallas at 8 p.m.
San Antonio, New Orleans, Minnesota. Those are teams that you're not going to start at 10:30 at night.
8 p.m. That's why they're
right. But what I'm saying, the late game, you are more limited than the East Coast games that you can do at 6 or 7, everybody.
If you're saying it's just certain teams there's just certain
they prefer certain teams. Granted, I get that,
but you just know those teams are going to be big markets, which is Los Angeles, San Francisco.
Right. Television networks, they play favorites not because they like a certain team. They worry about the ratings, and if you're like, "Why do the Lakers get so many games and they suck?" It's because it moves the needle. Don't get it twisted. Don't be upset. It's all about ratings and money.
I don't understand why Heat fans are upset. Your asses were on TV every day when the Big Three was up.
Don't worry, they'll have us here Christmas Day and all the other holidays. So,
yeah, I wonder if they had that.
This is my favorite argument about every fan base. I'm not singling out Miami. We're not on national TV enough. We should be on national TV. Look at our record. We get no respect. So you do get on national TV. I'm not watching that. I'm watching the local broadcast. What? What? You bitch and moan about wanting to be on national TV, and then when you're on national TV, you're like, I'm not watching that garbage. And then you complain that if you do watch it, they're so biased for the other team. Huh? What? Then why do you want to be on national TV so bad? To get our respect. Do you feel disrespected if your team's not on national TV all the time, Vlad?
No, I have streaming services. I can watch my team. Like, the only people that are bitching and complaining is people that can't watch their teams through other source.
No, there you go.
That's the only reason why you only could you watch your team on free. Which means if you only could watch your team free, that means you don't even have cable to watch them on their local cable channels.
Right.
Like anybody who's bitching about the Heat, that means you don't got Bally's. You don't got Bally's, son. Like get Bally's, son. You're not gonna be my team's not. No, you'll be able to enjoy your team.
I do want to ask you real quick, Vlad. When your team plays a national game, do you watch the local or the national?
Depending on the national announcers.
I always watch national because I like to see what an outside quote unquote neutral party has to say about the team. I can always watch my team on the local broadcast, but when it goes national, I like to hear what the national people have to say, whether it be positive, negative, or maybe they give me a different perspective on watching the team. So when the Heat play national games, I watch the national guys, and then the rest of the time I'm there with Eric Reed and John Crotty and Jason Jackson and Just everybody, Amy Audibert and the whole squad, because I mean it's like a holiday. You get a holiday and watch what the national people have to say. Kind of get a little different of a perspective. I don't know.
No, I like to hear the national because I mean
you don't get it every day.
You don't get it every day, so you kind of want to hear what other. You don't really know what other people are saying unless you watch the, the first takes and all stuff like that. But so you kind of want to hear how the national media, like the pundits, the pundits have to say about your team. But after a while, it's like, who cares, man?
Honestly, though, if an announcer nationally isn't being nice to the Heat or the Pelicans, it doesn't really upset me very much. I either just chalk it up to they're either being honest, they either don't like the team, or they're just not very knowledgeable. They're just reading what's handed to them. I don't go, oh, Reggie Miller hates us. It's like, no, I don't think Reggie Miller hates any team. And I'm not, when I say us, I mean just your local team, whether it be the Heat, whether it be the Pelicans, whether it be the Knicks, whether it be the Sacramento Kings. It's just one of those things. And they're never going to be as homer as your hometown team. But with that being said, get ready. Wednesday night, 7:30. Detroit's coming to town. You can hear the game right here on 560 WQAM. That's something. Up next, though, going to do a little something or nothing here on Sports Day 560 WQAM.
Download the free Odyssey app and make WQAM your favorite station. And there we are, 24/7.
Get down. We ride now. Easy like Sunday afternoon. Sunday night gonna be no joke. We're gonna get into later, lad, what you and I are gonna do for the game. Probably not you and I together, but nonetheless. Although I did invite you to come to Creamy Pasta with me, which is very romantic.
Yeah, I'll be working, bro.
I'm buying.
You know, come to the Dania Improv. I'll be working.
Oh, crap. Hell yeah. We're going to get into that. Got a lot to get into. Let's peel the curtain back a little bit. During the commercial break, I'm going to stand by this statement. Watching professional and even college, especially female bowling's a fun spectator sport if you're watching it on TV.
We were into it. We were getting into the speed bowling.
They got a guy that looks just like Bob Ross, and they're doing bowling derby, which is at first what we thought it was. Basically, you try to bowl as many strikes as you can in like 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So you just go from lane to lane. They just keep setting you up, and you just keep throwing. And if you can get however many strikes in, I'm guessing 2 minutes, you win the bowling derby. And they tied. Bob Ross and some little pipsqueak tied. But, man, we were into it,
They got some girls, man.
Dude, so.
I'm not saying they,
A couple of weeks ago, I was at 26th Degree Brewing in Pompano Beach like I do on Wednesday night for trivia. And me and my dude, Dolphin Dave, and his sister Carol, it was Wichita State versus Mount Mary or something. Women's bowling. Mesmerizing, man. And every girl wears glasses. I don't know. There's apparently an advantage to not wearing contacts when you bowl and wearing glasses. And they had some bad ones, man.
Okay.
Wichita State's my women's bowling program of choice.
Really?
I'm going on the record. But bowling is fun. It's fun to watch on TV. Now, will I go in person? No. And you know me and physical athletic activities, those days are past. But do you ever like go play a pickup game or
flag bro,
football?
I haven't. It's been a minute. I really would love to.
Oh, you would?
I would, yeah. Just to see if I still got it, but no. I look, I see, I'm like, them kids are younger and faster and stronger. Nah, that's cool.
I'm worried I might catch that, see what I got. I got that torn ACL. I don't want to do it. Also, we appreciate all your texts at 305-567-0560. Also on the Twitch and the YouTube Live. Just put 560 WQAM. One texter from 419 says, hey, Dan, we're having Lake Erie fried perch up here in Ohio, Zonk and Shula territory. Go Fins. That's how you do it for a big game right there. Already up in Ohio, some Lake Erie fried perch. That's what I'm talking about. And cabbage roll Paulie. Nobody does it like cabbage roll Paulie, Vlad.
Nobody does.
He's given the 1-2 punch. Last night, he says he got hammered watching the Canes win. Now, he is going to Last Chance Saloon for 3-for-1 drinks for the Dolphins game. On his way.
That's nice.
Cabbage roll Paulie. I salute you. That's something.
Drink one for me.
I mean, while you're getting 3-for-1, get 2 for me, man. I'm going to try to get the prima pasta tonight and maybe throw down a couple Peronis or something while I watch this Dolphins game and maybe some eggplant parm. I don't know. We're going to get into all that later. But what we're going to get into right now, as always, a little something or nothing, running through some things. Vlad will let me know whether it is something or nothing. We're going to start things with this. Michigan State apologizes for putting an image of Hitler on the big screen before the game yesterday between them and Michigan. Is that something or nothing?
Yeah, it's something. It's something bad for Michigan State. Hasn't been a good month for Sparty.
PR team over there not feeling good.
It hasn't been a good month for Sparty. Sexual harassment allegations with their former coach Mel Tucker, and then now you put in Hitler.
So there was a trivia
images.
question on the big screen before the game. Apparently, what's the birthplace of Hitler? How that got through the gatekeepers, I have no clue.
Yeah, remember, last line of defense. So nobody saw. Let's look at the questions here.
If I'm the scoreboard operator, I do one of these. Nope.
Okay, Ann Arbor. Okay, we're taking on the Wolverines, Michigan. Okay,
so
haven't beat them in a long time. And where's the birthplace of it? Yeah, okay, everything's good. No, real like somebody should have said something.
It's enough to have a trivia question about Hitler, which you probably shouldn't do in this country or a lot of countries.
Not at this time right now.
Number 2, they put up a picture as the answer. How does that get through?
I don't even care if you're trying to say that Michigan, your arch rival,
There's
no connotation with that. Like that's just bad by Michigan State, but explains the situation they're in now.
Yeah. Whew. Moving on to, I guess, lighter subject matter. Signs point to Christian McCaffrey playing tomorrow night against the Vikings. Of course, we know that Deebo Samuel is out for 2 weeks. Is that something or nothing?
It's something for whoever has Christian McCaffrey on their fantasy team.
A lot of people think Christian McCaffrey can just rest because they're playing the Vikings. But one thing about the Vikings is they can play you and I, Vlad, or they can play the Super Bowl champions. It's going to be like a 2-3 point game. They'd love to keep it close.
They're going to lose.
They love to keep it close, though, man.
But they will lose.
The Christian McCaffrey, yeah, especially for fantasy, you want Christian McCaffrey playing in that game. I think if you're the 49ers, you want as much firepower as possible. Without Deebo, go ahead and get it. What is it? What do they call him? CMC?
CMC.
That guy can play, though. Speaking of, 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne are going to release a joint album. It's called Welcome to College Grove next month. Is that something or nothing, Vlad?
Is it Wayne's coming out with a lot of stuff. He just came out with a little prequel to the 6. The Carter 6 should be coming out soon, and then now he's coming out with a joint collabo with 2 Chainz. It's something. He had something for the music lovers. Hopefully, it comes out in this is the 4th quarter of the year.
It's next month.
Next month. Well,
just in time for the holidays, baby.
Just in time for at the end of the 4th quarter of the music year.
Nothing says Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Kwanzaa, Happy Christmas, Happy Hanukkah like a little 2 Chainz, Lil Wayne collabo.
I hope Fabulous drops a soul tape for Thanksgiving.
FOBOUL.
Yes, I need a soul tape.
You know how he got his name like that, huh? How we got it FABOLOUS.
I know. Do you?
Yeah, he was one time freestyling when he was like an unknown rapper at, I guess, New York City, some show, and he just misspelled it because it fit the rhyme, and they're like, "You should stick with that," and he stuck with it.
Yeah, DJ Clue and all.
Okay, so that was a correct guess.
Yes.
Because I remember the story and being like, wow.
Yes.
Speaking of, Vlad, we got to clear some dates on our calendar. Sorry, I know our dude Alejandro Solano, who's coming in next. He's clearing his calendar too. May 21st, 24th, 25th, 26th. Kaseya Center.
Bad Bunny.
It's Bad Bunny. Oh, 4 nights. Doesn't mean the tickets are going to be cheaper. 4 nights, though.
Because, the station ain't going to give you anything.
And not for an indoor concert. No. Although, Mijo, if you're listening, we love you, Mijo, from Power 96.
Nah, they're going to
DJ Zog.
They're going to keep it themselves. Don't worry. That's why I'm going to whoop their ass in fantasy.
I just need 2.
I need 2, too.
I'll sit in the Raptors. I don't care if I'm on the last row.
I'll tell you this right now, Mijo. You get me 2 tickets for Bad Bunny, I'll sit all my starters.
Mijo, you can win this league if you get me 2 tickets for Bad Bunny. I'll take a dive.
My starters.
Take a dive. He already beat me this season, so I can't really.
I already beat his ass.
He beat me pretty bad. Nonetheless, he beat by 4 points. So nonetheless, man, 2 tickets. Now, Bad Bunny does have a new album out. It's not, the stuff that we usually play here, like Después de la Playa, our Party, our Titi Mi Pregunto. It's more, they say trap. He's getting back to his trap roots, which to me means a little bit
that's
slower.
what a lot of people were saying, that it's going back. He went back to his trap.
It's more about slower, more about the message and the words that he's singing, which to me is not that good because A, I like the booty dancing, get down music, and B, mi español es malo. So it's kind of hard to follow sometimes. But I'm going to give it a listen. It's probably a grower, as they say. The more you listen to it, the more you love it.
Okay.
But Bad Bunny, that last album, man, bangers. Okay, we'll see. I listened to Monaco the other night. It was a little slower than I thought, Bad Bunny. Come on, Benny. Help us out. Did you know Loch Ness Monster's home over there at Lake Loch Ness is still one of the most visited spots in the United Kingdom, Vlad? Something or nothing.
You're not going to see him. Why are they going to the man's house?
They got pictures.
Yeah, like the same way they had Bigfoot the other day.
They got pictures.
There ain't no pictures, man.
I got pictures.
It's nothing.
That means it exists.
No, it doesn't.
I'm talking about something else. A woman's sister is mad at her for picking a baby name without getting her own sister's blessing. Something or nothing.
Wait, what?
So a woman had a baby and named her baby, and the sister's now mad because she didn't ask her sister, like, hey, I'm thinking about naming my baby this. What do you think? The sister's mad, even though it's not her baby and she's not a surrogate.
Upset because the sister didn't ask her.
Yeah, for her blessings to name the baby what they wanted.
Did you sleep with me to have this baby?
Just saying.
People got whatever. Why don't you make your own baby?
I know she wasn't a surrogate or anything. So
no, that's what I'm saying. Why don't you make when people have craziness like that? That's because they probably can't find a man or not gonna have a chance to have their own baby. So they listen. I've seen it within my own family where you know
Spill the tea?
a cousin has a little baby, and then all of a sudden everybody's they all the women start getting baby fever, and they start realizing, oh, I can't have a baby no longer, and they go overboard as if they're the surrogate mother or like they're the second mother.
Right.
No, get your own.
Kind of like this story, or maybe you don't. A woman, she withdraws wife privileges because her boyfriend will not propose to her. Something or nothing.
She what?
Withdrew wife privileges.
What do you mean? She's not giving them none?
No sex, no cleaning, no cooking, none of that.
Because
he won't engage. He won't propose. If you don't want to be my husband, if you don't want
I
to
already
be your
got
wife,
but guess what, Mama's? I already got it before we were engaged. So
yeah, but you can't take it away.
You can't take it away all of a sudden. I'll just move on to the next one.
There you go. Now, obviously, you don't want to marry her.
Clearly, he doesn't want to marry you. So yeah, but you already gave up the milk, but baby, moo moo.
A husband's mad because he can't do what he wants to do after having kids. Is that something or nothing?
A husband is mad.
Can't go out with the guys. Can't get drunk. Can't hook up with other women.
Of course, it's something. All men who have kids have to go through.
Somebody was telling me the other day, like, everything changed when we had kids. He started going out and partying and getting wild. And I'm like, I thought it would be the opposite. Like, if you have kids, you're supposed to be like, all right, I got responsibilities now. I can't just be like willy-nilly partying with people. I don't know.
Maybe it was our boy.
I didn't want to tell her. I was like, you might have some deeper problems if your man's staying out all night. She said he didn't come home one night. I was like, and he's hanging out with his coworkers a lot. I was like, oh. I looked at the person I was with, and she was like, no, you keep your mouth shut. And I was like, I ain't getting involved. I'm not. Don't let me be the voice of reason in this situation, because it ain't gonna be pretty, mama. Speaking of mamas, a mother bans her mother-in-law for babysitting after she changed the grandson's diaper, but the mother feels as though it was an invasion of the baby's privacy. Something or nothing. I mean, it's the grandmother. She can look at his ding dong. He doesn't know the difference.
I'm just saying. It's nothing. I really get it's weird out when families start acting ridiculous over because of grandbabies, of children that are born into the family. Like the one where you're saying, "Oh, I'm upset." Like the sister being upset that her expecting sister didn't allow her to help picking the name. Like, yo, why don't you find yourself a man? Huh? Pick yourself a man.
Yeah, get yourself a baby and name it whatever the hell you want.
Geez,
I don't need you don't need my blessing.
Although now this, like, come on, man, people are stupid.
Sergey kind of got me. He says the problem is she wanted to name the baby Dan Day. Well played right there. Also, this woman that's mad at her mother-in-law kind of boxed herself in because she just lost a free babysitter.
I know, right?
You're not about to be around my child anymore. Your grandchild anymore. Okay. Enjoy that $20, $30 an hour plus refrigerator privileges and, whatever else happens in the house. I don't know. 1 hour away from Dolphins pregame. Vlad and I are going to get you the pregame next here on 560 WQAM.
Ryan Rank here from Sunday Night Football on West.
Dan Day.
My cousin Vladimir Lewisson, before we bask in the glory of this week in the NFL, mainly Dolphins, Eagles, 8:20 tonight. Let's relive the glory that was last night when Miami took on Clemson.
Corey Dallas comes forward, and away we go from Hard Rock Stadium. Emory Williams, George Smith in the backfield with him. Smith will take the handoff. Oh, he's got a big hole. Rashard Smith, here we go. And midfield, he's at the 40. He's at the 30. He's at the 20. One man to beat. Rashard Smith into the end zone. He fumbled the ball. In the end zone, he went 80 yards and fumbled the ball. Smith went 80 yards and there's a flag down. Did he cross the plains? Oh my goodness.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
Play clock at 5. Klubnik wants to throw. End zone for Brennan Stoll. James Williams is there. Brennan Stoll, does he have it? Incomplete.
He has it, but it's out of bounds. After further review, the ruling on field is a touchdown.
Well, my dear friends, I don't know what else to tell you.
More ACC cooking.
Start a work of art to revolutionize, make a change from the train.
Williams to throw. End zone. Colby Young. He's got it! Touchdown! Miami! Colby Young, the left corner of the end zone.
Down to business, mental self-defense of fitness. I'll let the show.
Andres Barbour-Gallus comes on trying to tie this thing up. Off the right hash mark. 38-yard kick. Snap is down. Kick is on the way. It is good. We're tied at 17 with 1:52 to play in the game. Here's the snap. Gives Allen. Dives. A.J. Allen in there.
You're in there,
He got
Faith.
it in. Allen punches it in for a 2-point conversion. He goes in behind McCoy and Maui Noah. Allen punches it in, and it's an 8-point lead for Miami in double overtime, 28-20. And now Clemson has the pressure back on them. Will they knuckle under the pressure, or can Klubnik deliver? Fake, gives, no, he's going to run it himself, left side. He's going to be dropped down, it's over.
Bye now.
Miami wins it. He was stopped. He was stopped. Corey Fly got him. Corey Fly got him. Miami wins. They're them at Hard Rock Stadium. It's a dream, but it is real. Miami wins 28-20 in double overtime.
So signature Saturday now is signature Sunday. Can the Dolphins put a signature win on their resume? It is week 7 of the NFL. Some games so far, very interesting. Some not so much. Buccaneers, Falcons, 10-10 in the third. That's exactly what we expected, Vlad.
Yeah, nastiness.
Ho hum. Ho hum. Didn't expect this. The Bears at the end of the third with their undrafted quarterback, Bajent, 21-3 on the Raiders. Jimmy Garoppolo not playing, though. Woo! Those Bears went from being the worst team in the NFL to not the worst team in the NFL.
Does anybody want Caleb?
I don't know. Colts, Browns, they're putting some points up, though. The Browns 27-21 over the Colts right now at the beginning of the third quarter.
Deshaun Watson out of the game.
Anthony Richardson out for the season.
Hurt in the first quarter. And don't know what his condition
Status
is right
is
now.
gonna
His
be,
status, well, he's out for the game, clearly, but we don't know what's going to happen. But Cleveland's got a great defense, and Indy's been scrappy this whole season, man.
They have.
They've been very scrappy this season, so we'll see. It's going to be a good one.
I expect a little more from the Commanders today. They're down 14-7 with 6 minutes to go in the third. I'm guessing it's a division rivalry, and they just really haven't gotten going. The Giants, not a very good team. The Commanders, not a great team, but I thought Eric Bieniemy could muster up a little more than 7 points.
I don't know what happened here.
Speaking of you don't know what happened, talk about a game that I don't know what happened here. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, the Ravens
and the Lions.
Oh, my God. Just picking on those Lions. Like, making the Lions cowardly. Like, geez, 35-0. Everybody was talking, oh, Detroit. Oh my God, could they be the next team to move up with Philadelphia and San Francisco? Dude, you get punked 35-0 on the road. Yeah. Slow down. Slow all that lion roar.
There's contenders and there's pretenders. This week, you're a pretender. That's all I can say. Patriots Bills has been interesting. Just starting the fourth quarter, Patriots kind of taking it to the Bills, although not a lot to show for it. They're up 16-10. I'm thinking this is one of those games. Hopefully, I'm wrong. Buffalo, although I don't really want the Patriots to win either. Buffalo's just going to muddle around, and then at the end of the game, they're going to score a touchdown and win by 1, 2, 3 points, something like that.
So isn't it ironic when you come to find out that Bill Belichick signed a secret long-term lucrative contract? The Patriots are balling now. It's as if, oh, wait, hold up. He's still here? Oh, damn. He's not going to leave?
We can't get rid of him?
We can't get rid of him? I better start playing well.
Gotta start playing now.
I better start busting my ass a little bit more. Yeah.
I mean, it's okay to play bad for a couple of weeks, but now I got to get mine, my stats. This is my contract, man. Like, yeah, buddy. Interesting. Coming up later today at 4 o'clock, Battle of the Birds, the Cardinals and the Seahawks. Also at 4 o'clock, Steelers, Rams. Who knows what's going to happen in that game. 4:25, Chargers, Chiefs. A little rivalry action right there. 4:25 also, Packers, Broncos. Whew. See what happens there. And then, of course, tonight, 8:20, Dolphins, Eagles from the Link. I don't like some of these blowouts that are happening, like with the Ravens and the Lions. Makes me a little uneasy, and the Bears and the Raiders, although the Raiders have now made it 21-9.
Nah, the call was reversed.
Oh.
It was ruled incomplete pass.
Poor Raiders. I don't know if anybody's ever said that before, but nonetheless.
You got to go for it right now. If you're 3rd and 4, you're down 18.
Yeah. Tonight, though, this is one of those games. Both teams, obviously won it for all the obvious reasons. Dolphins really needed to solidify themselves as an elite top-tier team. The Eagles want to solidify because they don't want that 2-game losing streak, but also to say, hey, look, we're still here. We're still okay. We're still the elite team in the NFC, maybe in the NFL. No changes this year. We're getting everybody's best game. Should be interesting. Like I said, if no matter what happens, I'm not going to be totally surprised. I don't know what to expect. We'll get into our predictions, though, in a little bit. Tyler Van Dyke did not play last night due to a leg and hand injury. In his place, Emory Williams led the Canes to a 28-20 double overtime victory. Corey Flagg got the game-ending sack. Miami, Virginia, Saturday, 3:30, right here on 560 WQAM. Does it scare you a little bit, Vlad, that Virginia went into North Carolina and won? Or are you just saying that's college football?
It's football, man. Any given weekend, man. Look what's going on in the NFL, and college football is the same way. If you look at the games yesterday, a lot of games were more competitive than you expected.
Yeah. Like I always said, throughout my illustrious career covering college and pro football, especially college football, you're never as good as your best game. You're never as bad as your worst game. You're somewhere in between. So it's just one of those things. Hopefully we get the bad Virginia coming up on Saturday and the good Miami, and we'll be A-okay. Jeff Wilson Jr., he's been activated off the IR to running back for the Dolphins. Fullback Alec Ingold also expected to play today for the Dolphins when they kick off at 8:20 in Philly. Whew, we're going to be covering this for the next hour before we hand it off to Game Day Uncensored, the pregame. The Heat finalized their roster yesterday, signing Drew Smith to a multi-year deal and putting Cole Swider on a 2-way deal. They also waived Justin Champagnie and Check Diallo. The season starts Wednesday, 7:30, Kaseya Center against the Detroit Lions. Inter Miami's season is over. They lost 1-0 last night. Lionel Messi played every single minute of the game, maybe dispelling any rumors that he's possibly really hurt. Although, did he look like himself last night? I wasn't able to cover that much of the game. I was with the Panthers.
I wasn't able to see it as well, but didn't seem like it.
When they played Cincinnati FC Cincinnati a couple of weeks ago, he did not look like himself. He did not look like Lionel Messi. But the good thing is now he's got plenty of offseason. They've said that they're not going to loan him out to Barcelona, that he's not going to be loaned out anywhere. He's going to stay here in South Florida, play for the Argentine national team, of course, do some international duty. But for the most part, he's going to have a little bit of vacation time, which I think at his accelerated professional age,
at 36,
probably a good thing. Since he's played basically a football match every week since he's been 16 years old for 20 years straight. So, yeah.
For 2 decades, yeah.
Let him go. Take a little time, Lionel. Take a little time. Sam Reinhart did have 2 goals in the third period, but it wasn't enough as the Panthers fell to the Canucks 5-3. Next up, a winless San Jose Sharks. They come to town Tuesday at 7:45. Panthers. Sergei Bobrovsky, he's been good, not great.
No, he hasn't been great.
Definitely hasn't been great. And we know that Spencer Knight, he's in the AHL over in Charlotte trying to get his, game right. Luckily, the Panthers don't have too many like back-to-back games or like their games are kind of spread out. So it gives Sergei Bobrovsky time to kind of rest up and then, between games and get his mind right. But so far, this is what we kind of didn't want the Panthers to be because we didn't want to be held hostage the rest of the season. And I feel as though we're not being held hostage, but I'd like to be 3-2 instead of 2-3. That's just me though. The Phillies, they did defeat the D-backs last night, 6-1. They lead that series 3-2. Tonight, the Astros, they lead the Rangers 3-2. Game is at 8:00.
You think they clinch it tonight?
No, I think the Rangers win. I think the Rangers have pride. And I think it's a rivalry. It's a Texas shootout. Got to go into game number 7. Now, you get into game number 7, you're in a lot of trouble because the Astros, they're a really good team, and they've got experience and history kind of on their side. But I think the Rangers have enough to make a push tonight and get to that game 7. And if you're a Rangers fan, you got to feel pretty good about that. That's a successful season, win, lose, or draw. Well, there's going to be no draw in game 7, but win or lose in game 7. The NFL has warned teams that there will be significant punishments for fighting before, during, or after games. No specifics were given.
Can't fight.
I like that. No specifics, really. Also like the NBA. Stars are not allowed to sit a certain amount of games. Well, what constitutes being a star? We'll determine that. Like, you give me some definition. You can't just willy-nilly say stuff like that. I mean, I know why they write it like that. Yeah, because basically they can categorize anybody as a star. I don't know.
Well, no, that's a great question. Like, what makes you a star?
Yeah, because the NBA says you are.
But, well, then that's not right because then come contract time, what if a player say, well, wait a minute, the NBA regards me as a star.
Yeah, I should be able to
get this amount of money, or I should be able to sit down and do this and that. So that's a slippery slope there. You're able to decide what's a star.
My question is, let's say you're the NBA, Vlad. Is Kevin Love considered a star?
No, but he's old.
I don't know. Kevin Love just popped in my head. Yeah, Tyler Zeller.
He's old. He can sit down if he wants.
Cody Zeller. He always catches shrapnel, man.
He's nothing.
Plays for the Pelicans now. Can't wait.
He's nothing.
Loved him with the Heat. Now love him with the Pelicans. There's certain guys you cannot get rid of. Have you ever noticed that? Players that, like they're on your team. You don't really like them. You finally get rid of them. They go to like your second favorite team.
Yeah, you're right.
That happened with Al-Farouq Aminu a couple times with me also. Like Al-Farouq Aminu.
Oh my God, he was like, geez, Al-Farouq Aminu was the Tyler Hero before Tyler Hero. He was in every trade scenario.
He wishes he was as good as Tyler Hero,
but he was the guy. Like every time, he was always being thrown in. Like, that's the added piece for this trade.
My favorite thing is the sky's the limit for Al-Farouq Aminu. He's never reached his potential. He's been in the league for 9 years. I'm like, maybe he doesn't have that potential. Maybe he doesn't.
Maybe he doesn't. That's a great point.
Speaking of Goku, NASCAR is also Homestead Miami Speedway today. We're going to be cheering for Bubba Wallace. Bubba. We love Bubba. Bubba is a Southern slang term for brother.
I know.
Okay. Just making sure, in case you didn't. With that being said, you know where we're going right now. We're going to take a step. Oh, you already got it going into the day spa. Get this, Vlad. An Australian woman claims spending over $500 on a male escort helped save her marriage. And her husband agreed.
Yeah. Let the escort deal with all that the headaches.
He said she needed someone to teach her some things here and there. Plus, she deserved a little break from being a stay-at-home mom. It's good to know he's on board.
Yeah, that means he's allowed to do his dirt.
I didn't look at it like that.
Yeah.
I looked at it like this. Someone else giving it to my old lady is enough. Me giving him $500 to give it to her?
Oh, she's giving the $500.
Better have separate bank accounts. That ain't coming out the joint account. But
hell no.
She said it saved the marriage, though. So maybe it is a joint bank account.
Yeah, because then, he don't have to deal with the BS.
Interesting relationship right there.
Listen. There's a lot of relationships like that we just don't know about because it's not, they
don't make it public.
We're not privy to it. But a lot of relationships like that.
If your old lady
I mean,
comes up
put
and
it this
says, "Loan me a couple hun," so I could
get with a hun,
yeah, so I can learn things, bring it back.
Wait a minute, you gotta learn. Hold on, this is why we got married. You're supposed to be learning from me.
We got YouTube. Let's go.
Nah,
I'll find.
but
something.
hey, listen, it's not no Jada Pinkett or Will Smith situation.
That's a nasty situation, man.
That's nasty. So at least if they save the marriage, good $500 spent.
Do whatever it takes to save that marriage. Don't think
$500
about it.
That $500 could be spent on other things.
Up next, more Dolphins Eagles here on 560 WQAM.
Couldn't do nothing with it. Straight from the oven with it. Came from the
560 WQAM. I'm feeling it in my bones, cousin. Tonight. Woo! It's going to be a fight. Dolphins, Eagles, one team, high-powered offense. They call them more of a finesse team. The Eagles, high-powered offense and defensive line. They call them a bully ball team. Who's going to win out? It's a new NFL. This is in the 1970s where defense and toughness wins championships. Contrasting styles should be a whole lot of fun tonight. I was thinking as I was walking through the hall, what does Tua need to do to win tonight? And the honest answer is do whatever it takes. I could see Tua only having 167 yards, but if he's accurate and makes the big passes, the Dolphins win the game. I could also see him having 424 yards, and if he's accurate and they score a ton of points, winning the game. Conversely, I could also see him having 167 yards and losing the game because he didn't make the big play at the end. I could also see him having 427 yards and then losing the game also. But I don't know. I think if he has 400-something yards, then the Dolphins are going to be okay. I don't know if Philadelphia wants to get into a shootout. I would say if you're Philadelphia, beware. The best way for the Dolphins to win this is a shootout. You muck it up, as we say with the M, muck it up, make it a physical game, and we'll see what happens. I still think the Dolphins got a good shot no matter what, regardless. I know it's a tough task against the NFC champions on the road at night with all eyes watching, but this is what you want if you're the Dolphins. A chance to eliminate any doubt and all the chatter that you just beat up on little teams and you're still not in the elite of the elite of the league. You go out, win tonight in any way, shape, or form, you win, you belong with the elite. Even if it is the defense that might save us in the end, maybe a Jason Sanders field goal, take it, right? There are no ugly wins in the NFL, especially against top-tier teams.
Oh, they could be ugly wins.
Oh, I mean,
I'll take it.
Nobody's taking anything away from the Browns. Oh,
I'm
but
not
Chris
giving
McCaffrey,
back an ugly win.
No, hell no.
Hell no.
Nobody's saying, oh, but the 49ers didn't have McCaffrey and Debo Samuel for most of the game.
Rat's ass.
Guess what? That's what you call football, especially in the NFL. Football. That's what we do. So go in there, any means necessary. Honestly, that's what Tua should be. There's no targets. He doesn't need a certain amount of touchdowns. He doesn't need a certain amount of completions or a certain amount of yards. He needs a certain score on the scoreboard. That should be his goal right now. None of these gaudy numbers matter anything. What matters is the score at the end of the game. Remember, we were talking to Channing Crowder and some of the other guys, and they said, you know, the biggest trash talk you can ever do, and Leroy Horde also, when someone says something, does something, you point to the scoreboard. There's no comeback to that.
There is absolutely no comeback to that. You cannot come back.
There's no comeback. And
there's absolutely no comeback.
I've been on both sides of the situation, both sides of the ball, pardon the pun, where, you know, somebody blocked a shot and it almost hit the scoreboard. And like, oh, take that. Be like, oh, you almost hit the scoreboard. Look at it. And they just, oh, whatever. And they've also said, like, you want to come, said something trash. And they're like, yeah, look at the scoreboard. Like, I don't have time for you. And it's like, So Tua, the only number you need to worry about is the final on the scoreboard. Whether you pass for 1 yard or 1,000 yards. You're not going to get 1,000. If you get 1,000 yards tonight, that's going to be legendary. But no, whether you throw... Cheetah is going off.
You get 1,000 yards in a game.
Like, let's say you throw like 400-yard, 90-yard passes and then like sprinkle in some other long passes.
Well, first of all, how would you get 1,000 yards? Like what?
Like
599 yards.
I'm breaking it out. So you get like a couple, like 590 to 100-yard passes. For some reason,
literally, okay. Understand?
So you're only halfway there.
You're not gonna get 100-yard pass. It's gonna be 99. Okay?
So you're only halfway there with
599-yard passes. Okay, now explain to me how the other 500.
I know that's the thing. You got to dip and dunk the rest of the way.
Like Stephen A says, maybe just dip and dunk and then those.
No, you got to get big chunk passes, like a couple 50-yarders, couple 40-yarders, couple 75-yarders, but like quick strikes, obviously, quick strikes. No running. Yeah, Raheem Mostert, sit your ass on the bench. I'm going for 1,000 today. If it works, don't stop.
If that happened, the Dolphins would have 11 minutes of time of possession.
Vlad, do the math. You throw 5 99-yard touchdown passes.
That's 495.
And you're still only not even halfway there.
You still got another 505 to go.
So Tua, now you know what you got to do today. You know, I'm not telling you how to
Man,
do it.
if he throws for 1,000 yards, you might as well just write the MVP award for him right there.
He don't have to play anymore this year.
I don't
Greatest,
really think so. He can take the next 2 weeks off. He'll still be leading the NFL in
it was the
passing yards.
greatest game in football history, greatest performance in football history. Goodness gracious. I hope he does it, though, man. I really do hope he does it. But, I mean, I like the idea of them airing it out today. No, I mean, once again, not 1,000 yards, but I do like the idea of them airing it out. Why we want to ground and pound with a team that can ground and pound with anybody, with the best of the best of them? I don't know. Do what you do best. Get Tyreek, get Jalen Waddle out there, get some Braxton Berrios, a little more of a quote unquote possession receiver, and get that accurate to arm rocking and rolling. That loosens up the run a little bit. Boom, punch, go. So, Vlad, real quick, percentage that Tua could have 1,000 yards in one game today.
None.
So you're saying it's impossible.
I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's not going to happen today.
Can you give me a 0.00000001?
I give you 0.25 infinite zeros.
With one at the end?
With a 1 at the end.
Thank you. So you're saying it could possibly happen. I just want possibilities. Scientists will tell you that. If it happens, though, you owe me a lot. Gonna finish things up next here on Sports Day 560 WQAM.
It's not 2 days price.
Woo! Tonight is the night. Dolphins, Eagles, to me, in my opinion, the biggest game thus far this season in the NFL. 5-1, 5-1, defending NFC champions. Team that could be AFC champions this year, could be a prequel to the Super Bowl. It's going down 8:20 tonight. In just a couple of minutes, we're going to get the pregame going with Alejandro Solana, Alex Dano, and Omar Kelly. But what's more important, Vlad, what are you doing tonight once you get out of this place?
Work.
Rihanna?
But I'm going to try to go see my little nephew. Today's his birthday. They're cutting cake for him. I want to wish Grayson Ochoa a happy birthday. I think he's a teen now.
Oh,
I think he's 13. He's either 12 or 13.
That's
but he's
sweet.
But the kid looks like he's probably got 2 kids and a family.
Full beard, you know.
Yeah, the 15 years. Nah, the Gray's the best, man. And shout out to his mother and father, Sharika and Gio, the Ochoa family. So I want to say wish a happy birthday to my nephew. And gonna hit the improv, man. Dania Improv, another college graduate comedians that went to school and graduated from comedy school. They're gonna have their own day today where they'll have, I believe 10 minutes of stage time to do their own performance.
Nice.
And then after that, watch the biggest game this season so far for the Miami Dolphins.
I think biggest game in the NFL so far this season. Forget Cowboys and 49ers and all that other nonsense. Jets, Eagles. Nonetheless, Vlad, of course, if you go out to the Dania Improv tonight and you see my guy Vlad, drop some bucks or a bag on him. Please take care of my guy.
Yeah.
Big time.
Green
big time.
bags.
I'm sticking around. I'm going to help out with this Game Day Uncensored pregame.
Yeah, you're doing more of the pregame. Your pregame, you're going to do the pregame. You did the pregame. Now you're doing the pregame.
And then when I get off, I'm going to pregame for the game. I'm trying to go to Prima Pasta by my house in North Beach. I know going to an Argentinian Italian restaurant to watch an NFL football game, that's kind of weird, but I like sitting at the bar, having a few drinks, watching the game, chilling out. I'm going to try to do that tonight. Maybe have a couple Peronis and maybe eat some eggplant parmesan, have a good time at Prima Pasta, stay close to home. It's been a long weekend, Vlad. And I mean, I'm not complaining. I've had a great time with every moment that we've spent here together, working on the air and also doing some other things behind the air. It's been absolutely great, but I'm ready to unwind with some.
I've seen you too much. I've seen you too much.
It does get to the point, though, that, as much as you care and love about someone, you've seen enough. You need a little break. So I'm glad that but of course, we're both not taking off. We're not leaving here and just going home and relaxing. It's going to be a great game, though, man. So I am so excited. Run out to Jensen's Liquor Store, maybe say hi to Manny, grab a drink on the way out. Some prestige. We talked about this, Vlad. It's a prestige night. Don't go bottom shelf.
Prestige night, huh?
Or you want some hen, you might want to do that.
Some hen dog.
You don't go get the skull. You don't go get the bush. You get the good stuff tonight because this is that type of game. It is a primetime, big-time game. So far, the NFL, there's been a lot of blowouts.
A lot of craziness.
I don't like that.
But there's been some craziness. Indy has taken the lead over Cleveland.
Man.
Just starting the fourth quarter, 31-30. 2 minutes left in this AFC East battle.
Buffalo,
Patriots are up by 5, but Buffalo third and goal at New England's 1.
What did I say? They're going to muddle around the whole game. Then at the very end, they're going to score a touchdown win by 1, 2, or 3.
Chicago mollywhopping the Las Vegas Raiders.
I can't believe this.
I now understand. But you know what's funny? The week Devontae said that I want to be more included in the offense. Even I'm happy that we're winning, but I want to, I want to be included. They try to include him, and they're getting their ass kicked.
Not great Bears team, but not the worst team in the league.
And the Ravens in the game that everybody.
Woo!
I mean, and you know what makes this impressive for the Ravens? They just came back from England.
That's true.
Some teams usually take after that England trip. That's their bye.
Yeah, or they have
he
a
did
huge
not want
hangover.
their bye. They did not want their bye after the England trip
because you have the right to choose.
Right, you have the right to choose. They wanted later on in the year, and they're beating the
stockings off
the urine out of
Anthony Richardson. Not going to be
Lions.
playing the rest of the season. We do know that Gardner Minshew has not been the Gardner Minshew that we know.
Man, that team has just been battling for them. Got to give those Philadelphia offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator that got NFL head coaching jobs this past season credit, man.
Mm-hmm.
Steichen and I forgot what's the other Gannon in Arizona. Those teams compete week in and week out. It's not an easy contest against those respective teams. So, and the Giants and Commanders, 14-7 Giants. They're moving right now into Washington's red zone with 9.5 left.
This is what it's all about tonight at 8:20. It's like I said earlier, $1 million baby time. All you want is a shot to go in there, play your best game, and let the best team win. You go in there and you don't win, and you gave your best shot. It's all you can ask for. You go in there and you put it on them. You're feeling really good about yourself.
Put it on them.
Got to put it on them, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Dolphins need to go in there and put it on them. It is great offense versus, let's say great offense. The defense sometimes this year for the Dolphins has been suspect, although I think it's gotten a little more heat than it should be getting. I think it's a little better than most people are giving it credit for. Philadelphia, we know they're stacked. We know they're good. Maybe they haven't played as good as a lot of people want them to play this year. Still 5-1. Still had a really good chance to beat the Jets last week. Jalen Hurts had just a terrible game.
Well, we gave you the blueprint, man.
We do have that. Yeah, and it's a monkey see, monkey do league. I guess that's a bad term to use. It's just a copycat league. You know, you see how one team has success against the team, you go and do that. So Dolphins can do that. I expect Mike McDaniel to have some thrilling and genius play calling in this game. It seems like every game he does, but in this big of a game. And I do like the fact that we talked to Javon Holland and some of the other guys on the Dolphins saying, is this just another week? Are you preparing like normal? And they go, no, I would be lying if I didn't say that this week means a little bit more. It's against the Eagles. It's in Philadelphia. It's prime time. I'm okay with that.
What you got? What's the score? I know you gave a score.
We haven't done that yet, but we haven't done that yet. Yeah, I got it. I talked to you yesterday. 28-27 Dolphins, and it is the defense, the much maligned Vic Fangio defense that comes up with a stop at the end of the game. Either that or Jalen Hurts just makes a bad decision at the end of the game. Either way, it's the defense. Vlad, what you got?
I have the Dolphins winning 27-24.
We're close.
But I just thought about it when I was about to say it. I was like, I said that yesterday. Do I really want to rely on Jason Sanders?
I do.
You do?
I trust in the defense and Jason Sanders at the end of the game. I'm not going to be nervous.
Okay.
I really don't. They got a lot to prove. This is their chance.
Another thing. If you have a chance to bring Jalen Hurts down, do not go at the man's arms. This man is so damn strong.
He's built like a fire hydrant.
He will stiff arm your defender and still throw the ball, a dart, to his respective receiver. So please, when you get a chance to lay the wood on Jalen Hurts, lay it. Pause. But definitely let him know that you're there. So you got to hit that man.
Yeah, arm tackles aren't going to do it against a man like that.
Nope, there is not going to do. And also, this Tampa Bay Atlanta game is just abysmal. Just horrible.
It's so bad you have to watch it.
It's so bad you have to watch. The running game. You know how we're talking about how Philadelphia has time of possession? What if this flipped and the Dolphins had control the clock? They're running time of possession. Because if that's the case, that means Philly's really losing.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things, Vlad. It's going to come down to making plays. It's not going to be about how much yards
you got playmakers there.
How much time possession is important, but at the same time, it's about making
There's
plays.
Playmakers on both sides, on both teams, on both sides of the ball.
Who's going to make the right play at the right time? Lo and behold, I predicted the Buffalo Bills would score late and win by 1, 2, or 3. They're now up 25-22, but with 1:58 left.
Hey, can I get a pick six that could cover my spread?
Oh, you got a little something going?
A little something.
Sometimes you got to put a little something on it.
It's the only way to watch the game sometimes, especially if your team's not
But
playing.
don't you get nervous? Like, to me, like whenever I have money on a game, I can't enjoy it because I'm always nervous.
Oh, no, I can enjoy it.
I try to forget who's on my fantasy team. So when I watch
I haven't watched my fantasy. The minute my quarterback got hurt today, I stopped concerned. I stopped looking at my fantasy team. I had no more concern. Deshaun Watson. Jeez.
That's tough right there. That's tough business right there. But seems to be a thrilling game between the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. I'm guessing it's going to be a thrilling game between the Miami Dolphins and the Eagles tonight. Two heavyweights throwing haymakers left and right. Will it be a knockout, drag-out fight? Will it be a track meet? We will find out.
I'll tell you right now, get your track shoes on and get to your local establishment. Dolphin fans, they should be. I don't want to see anybody waiting. You should know this is a Sunday night game, and unless you've eaten already, you had the big family dinner, you don't need to eat. at the local bar. Get your asses over right now so that you have a seat. And oh my gosh.
Buffalo's showing how physical they are. They just got trucked over. Oh, there's a flag. Okay. I was wondering where
I was about
going.
to say.
Okay. So if you're not ready yet, we've done our best. We're going to get you more ready for the next 4 hours with the Dolphins pregame. It is called Game Day Uncensored. You got our dudes, Alex Dono.
They won't be cursing, guys. I don't know why it's called Game Day Uncensored, but they won't be cursing.
We would be cursing.
It would definitely be.
We should do one off the radio one day. Just
if they
on
don't
Twitch and YouTube.
if they don't slave us.
We're gonna get. Yeah, that's true. We don't have any free time. But Alex Dono, Omar Kelly, Alejandro Solana, they're going to give you 4 hours like no one else can of pregame for Dolphins, Eagles. Vlad is going to be at the Dania Improv. Maybe I'll be at Cafe Prima Pasta. Maybe I won't. If you see me, come on by. We'll have some drinks. We'll have some Italian food. We'll have a good time.
Happy birthday, nephew.
That's right.
Happy birthday, Grayson.
And hopefully happy nights for Dolphins fans. This has been Sports Day on 560 WQAM.
Later, fools.
You're listening to the exclusive